Zone has helped countless people lose weight, and they can help you too by boosting your metabolism and making you feel a little bit fuller naturally. RidUZone.com.
The Conservative Cartel.
Hashtag Me Too. Thanks to the excesses of the hashtag Me Too movement, sexual encounters have morphed into an episode of South Park. In the midst of an otherwise romantic night, gals who might be asked to create a so-called consent video so your understandably petrified partner, and it ain't from being hard, can cover his behind against any future false accusations that you may level against him. Now, a consent video is exactly what it sounds like. A woman telling a camera that she is fully on board with you having sex with her once the record button is turned on. Oh, we used to tape things in college and they weren't consent videos, just saying, but oh, is this where we've come? I mean, is this where we're at as a country?
But let's talk about the Golden Globes. Christian Bale said Satan inspired him playing Dick Cheney. Did Satan also inspire him to assault his wife, his sister, and his mother? Did Satan also inspire that? Just asking.
Brandon Morse, today at 1. MoJo 50.
Hey, it's Brad Staggs with big news. MoJo 50 is coming to you and to your town. It's all part of our way of helping the veterans in this country. The MoJo 50/50 tour is 50 states in 50 days, and we're traveling across the country in a bus. I don't know what could go wrong. If you go to MoJo5050tour.com, you can find all the details, including to tentative stops and how you can be a sponsor. MoJo 50/50 tour, MoJo5050tour.com.
Adjust your mojo now. Thank you. The mothership has landed. Doc Thompson. Brad Staggs. The mighty MoJo 50.
Hello? What are you doing? That is way too happy to start the program. Get rid. What is his name?
Ron.
That is. Ron. Get rid of that. You're way too happy. That's way too serious. Apparently, you don't realize what's going on out there.
Is that better?
That's better. It's pandemonium on the streets. How did you guys even make it to work? It's like the purge out there. It's bedlam.
I don't know. Traffic was kind of light for me.
Do you realize the destruction that Trump is causing with his shutdown?
It's
Lock your doors.
It's pretty epic. It's pretty
Don't go to work today.
There are ding-dong rappers blowing through state parks.
It's in
federal park.
I don't think you're taking this serious enough.
I don't know. It's bad.
Ding-dong rappers.
Did you?
Well, yeah, there's some Twinkie rappers.
How difficult was it getting to work today?
There was one jackass in the fast lane, but then that would.
But what I mean about the surface-to-air missiles that you were dodging?
I didn't see any of those. It was
the landmines on the highway.
No, none of those.
People taking shots at you and you.
No.
Okay, I don't know what's going on. I think you're lying. I think you're part of the conspiracy to keep it down, to hide what Trump is really causing. And I can prove it here.
Pretty decent out there.
And a sitting United States Senator from the great state of Vermont posted this. So troubling.
Okay.
Posted this video in front of the United States Department, the Environmental Protection Agency.
Well, the EPA,
That's right, Bernie Sanders. And he knows where he is because he turns around and looks at the sign over his shoulder.
This is the Environmental Protection Agency here in Washington, D.C.
See, it's right there on the sign behind me.
And there's a moose out front.
Right. Now listen.
This is the Environmental Protection Agency here in Washington, D.C. And as you may notice, it is very quiet. And it is quiet because 95% of EPA employees are furloughed.
Brad, it's quiet at the EPA today. 95%
90
of EPA workers are furloughed.
That's close to 100%.
That's right, and that means they're not there. You hear how quiet it was in the video?
It was very quiet.
That's what's going on in D.C.
Very, very quiet there. Yeah.
95% of them are not there doing their job, Brad.
Does that mean
I don't know how we're going to make it home today. I just don't know.
We have endangered beavers running around out there.
Did we barricade the door? We probably should.
We can put a chair in front of it. I think we have
a chair.
You can put a chair in front of the door.
That's your limit of security right there?
Just in case. I have guns.
You have some here?
Oh, yeah. I mean.
Okay, good.
Always.
I just feel bad for all the people of the country trying to make it to work today and put food on the table or whatever. 95% of government, of EPA workers furloughed. It's
non-essential. Non-essential.
What?
They're non-essential. That's why they're not there. 95% of the EPA employees were deemed
not it.
Non-essential. No, that's the reason. They are non-essential.
If they're not essential, they wouldn't have hired them.
No, see, that's not how government works. We apparently we're on some sort of it's a contest to see how much we can run up the money we don't have. The national.
Well, that's not logical. That doesn't make any sense. Why would you have people working that are not essential? It's a handout program?
Yes. Yeah, that's a perfect way to describe it.
Well, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah, no, it's
you hire people because you need them.
Not when you're the government. There's a different set of rules.
You mean their rule is let's just hire a bunch of people because, or we need to help people, so let's give them jobs.
Yes, that's it.
Well, that sounds like a horrible idea.
Now you're
that
catching
sounds
on
terrible.
5% of EPA employees are furloughed. They're not going to work, and many of them are considered non-essential. Meanwhile,
is
non-essential.
Is Bernie related to Jim Acosta by some means?
I think most people know the scientific community has made it clear that climate change is the great crisis.
Has made it clear, ironically.
Clear.
What's
clear? No, he said clear. He clearly said clear.
That the scientific community has made it clear that climate change is.
It's ironic that you screw up the word clear.
It is.
Great crisis facing our planet. And what the scientists tell us is if we do not transform our energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energy, the planet that we will be leaving our children and grandchildren will be increasingly unhealthy and uninhabitable. So,
is that a bad thing?
Okay, I'm going to need your help here, Brad, because you've been so far pretty good at explaining this to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it still doesn't make sense why you would have 95% of your employees not needed.
Right, especially if the fate of the planet itself hangs in the balance. So, here's the thing.
Well, let me. So non-essential, right? That means they're unneeded.
They're not necessary. Correct.
Right?
They are not essential to the.
Okay.
To the government.
Just so you know, so Brad isn't making it up. I just trust but verify here. If you thesaurus non-essential, extra, additional, dispensable, unnecessary,
correct,
unneeded,
absolutely.
So Bernie Sanders just said they are unneeded.
Yes, that's exactly what he said.
Now, see, it does. You've been good at explaining. It still doesn't make sense why you would have 95%, but if you're saying that's just what they do, that's what they get. It sounds like a bad model. No. If he's telling you that 95% are unneeded, yet the scientific community has said that we're all going to die.
I believe 9 out of 10 scientists have said that.
Why isn't he fighting? Why hasn't he fought prior to this for them being needed? That seems contradictory in here. He used the term. Right?
He did say it was clear.
Non-essential.
Yes, he did. He clearly said that, yeah.
I mean, if you believe this stuff, wouldn't, I mean, that, it's uninhabitable soon, wouldn't you say those people are needed?
Well, you'd think so. I mean,
increasingly,
if you gave a damn about the future, yes.
Unhealthy and uninhabitable. So here you have a major crisis for the United States.
You have something there?
I was just going to say, that's a big leap, just...
what do you mean?
From unhealthy to uninhabitable.
Increasingly unhealthy and increasingly uninhabitable. You think
that's like being a little pregnant.
And uninhabitable. So here you have a major crisis for the United States and for the world. And at the same time, you have nobody or almost nobody working here at the EPA.
There it is. Pretty clear.
Yeah, it's clear. Apparently there are 5% of them who are essential. So
agency that should be leading the effort in this country and around the world to combat climate change. Now, how insane is that? So today I say to Mitch McConnell, reopen the government, let the Senate have a vote on whether or not we approve what the House did, which is exactly the same legislation that Mitch McConnell and every other Republican senator voted for just a few weeks ago. We cannot continue to have some 800,000 federal employees, including the workers here at the EPA.
Those 800,000 would also be
TSA.
Unneeded.
That's correct. Yes, they are also deemed non-essential.
So we cannot have these 800,000 unneeded employees not at work.
Correct.
Doing stuff that we don't need to get done.
Yes. Spoken like a true senator.
I don't know what the hell I'm saying.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
None of this makes sense. I have no idea what I'm saying. I don't know what you just said.
Exactly. And
100,000 federal employees, including the workers here at the EPA, not getting a paycheck, not being able to pay their mortgages, not being able to go to the doctor when they are sick. So let's reopen
They're not able to go to the doctor when they're sick?
I think I can sum this up.
Hang on, one second.
Let's demand that the EPA help lead our country in the world in combating climate change. Thank you.
Okay, yes. What do you got?
Well, I think in a couple of paragraphs, look, humankind has nothing to lose. If you look back throughout history, humans have been interacting with the cosmos via four-dimensional superstructures, and we're really at a crossroads of conscious living and stagnation. And truly, I think, as the senator pointed out, without inseparability, one cannot exist. It's possible to eradicate the things that can erase us, but not without joy on our side. And overall, the complexity of the present time seems to demand a summoning of our brains if we are going to survive. I mean, I just don't.
I don't know what the heck that is.
Come on. It's as plain as a nose on your face.
Is that your opinion or is that somebody else's?
No, I think that's the collective opinion of everyone listening. I really believe that.
Wow. Okay.
I certainly do.
Well, sounds like you're not getting it because I'm still very concerned about this because it's not just Bernie Sanders.
Oh, no. It's more?
Right. It's Cardi B.
Oh. Yeah,
Cardi B, very upset about the government shutdown.
The go-to.
Cardi B.
The go-to.
You know who Cardi B is?
Who doesn't?
Good.
Explain it so Ron knows who Cardi B is.
Who?
Ron, the guy over there. Yes.
I don't know who that is. I know who Cardi B is.
Ron Phillips.
That guy?
Yes.
Guy,
yeah.
Yeah, what did you say? Ron. Cardi B is a singer. Singer? Did I get that? Is that
the... She's, ish. Yes.
Rapper? Rap star?
That's probably better.
Performer? Performer.
Yes.
Notable celebrity? Performer.
People know who she is.
I was confused when I first became aware of her because she looks so much like Ra from the Stargate movie.
She does.
With James Spader.
I think it's the eyeshadow.
Especially her most recent video. I'm just wondering if somebody could possibly do a separated birth meme for me, if you know, side by side, especially of the most recent video. Anyway, she posted on social media the comments, very upset about the government shutdown.
Really, really upset.
Oh, crazy upset.
Yes. Yeah.
So you're telling me, okay, Bernie Sanders is a politician, but here is Cardi B, the great Cardi B, right? The incomparable Cardi B.
Theologian, historian.
Busting out some serious concern.
Stateswoman.
About the government shutdown. Now, you could tell me Bernie Sanders is a politician and crazy, but if you're going to tell me Cardi B doesn't know what's going on,
right?
I don't know if I can trust you. I don't know if I can sit next to you anymore.
Just don't.
Now, I have a clip of the video to play for you, and
if you have small pets in the room, you might want to.
There's no way to play this video and actually beep it all and have you understand what's going on. It would be like this. Hey, beep, 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 and I go, see, there you go. She's very concerned. So I was going to let this fly, and
small pets.
I apologize up front for some salty language, but you know what? We are in such dire straits. I think it's certainly warranted.
It's the end of the world.
Right. I mean, it's time for being sensitive about this stuff is over. We've got some serious concerns. Ladies and gentlemen, Cardi B.
Hey, y'all. I just want to remind y'all, because it's been a little bit over 3 weeks, okay? It's been a little bit over 3 weeks. Trump is now.
Okay, so are you taking notes? Where's your pen? Take some notes.
I'm thinking them. I write down in my brain and I transcribe.
It's been a little bit over 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Okay, that's what he knows. I guess since she's communicated via these platforms. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, it's been a little bit over 3 weeks. Trump is now ordering, as in summoning, federal government.
He's now ordering as his summoning.
I thought it was sentencing.
I don't even think that applies.
At
his summoning. At his.
It's now ordering, as in summoning.
Trump is now ordering as his summoning. Damn it, right there, Brad.
It's Summersea.
In black and white.
I believe it's Summersea.
Trump responsible because he is ordering as his summoning.
Summersea.
Something.
Summersea.
What is he now summoning?
Right.
Federal government workers to go back to work without getting paid.
Boom. Boom, Brad. Right there from Cardi B.
Without getting, well, the balance of the planet, if it does in fact hang in the balance, I think that's a reasonable request.
Now, I don't want to hear y'all motherfuckers talking about, but Obama shut down the government for 17 days. Yeah, bitch, for health care.
Right, right.
Yes.
Trump's just doing it because of an order of summoning.
Yes.
And because he's evil.
Please get it right. Summersea.
Sorry.
Grandma could check her blood pressure, and you bitches could go check your pussy in the gynecologist with no motherfucking problem. Now.
So there you go. That's why Obama did it.
Right.
Because he was concerned about hoo-ha.
Right. Aren't we all?
Well, I mean, Trump, he just wants to grab it, but Obama was concerned about sick hoo-ha. That's the...
You know, a lot of y'all don't care because y'all don't work for the government or y'all probably don't even have a job.
Right.
But this shit is really fucking serious, bro.
Thank you.
This shit is crazy.
Thank you.
Our country is in a hellhole right now. All for a fucking wall. Like, we really need to take this serious.
All for an FU wall. Is that right?
I think so, yeah. I think that's, she made that point abundantly.
Okay, all right.
Abundantly
Here we
clear.
go.
I feel like we need to take some action. I don't know what type of action, bitch, because.
There it is. We have to take some action, Brad. That's the important thing.
Oh, good. Well, maybe she has some ideas.
Take some action. I don't know what type of action, bitch, because this is not what I do, but.
Right, thank you. She knows there needs to be action, but she's not telling you she's an expert. She's not telling you how to do it.
Is she related to Acosta also? Because they all seem to be right.
Something had
right at the end there.
Brad, she proved up front. Trump ordered this not because he's concerned about ladies' hoo-has being sick or grandmas getting their blood pressure checked.
Yes, exactly.
He's doing it because he just and he through his order of summoning Summersea that he ordered this, not like Obama. So something has to be done. Do you dispute that? Something has to be done.
Some form of action must be taken.
Thank you. Yes. So what has to be done?
I feel like we need to take some action. I don't know what type of action, bitch, because this is not what I do.
Thank you. How humble. What a wonderfully humble lady.
You got to hand it to her at the end there.
She's not claiming to be an expert.
No,
all these talking heads out there saying what needs to be done, and most of them never been to the border, never been in law enforcement, don't know any brown people.
Nope.
She's not playing that.
No. Very
humble, modest woman. A humanitarian saying something has to be done. But hey, I'm not going to say I know what has to be done. But I do know that something has to be done.
If you're not in the business of knowing what to do, why would you suggest there has to be something done if you don't know there is something to do? Because if you don't know there's something to be done, how do you know there's anything to do?
Yes.
Bitch, I'm scared.
I'm skid too.
Sorry?
She's just said, bitch, I'm skid.
Oh. Okay.
This is crazy, and I really feel bad for these people that gotta go to fucking work to not get motherfucking paid.
There it is.
Yep. I think we should maybe put that on a bumper sticker.
It's wordy.
Yes, it is a little wordy, but if you make them small enough, you can get them all on there.
That's a good point.
You just got to get close enough to read it.
I'm wondering if people wouldn't understand it if she didn't use MFer. Every other word.
She what?
If she didn't
use... She used MFer?
Did she?
Sorry.
Huh. She talked so fast.
I didn't know. I didn't realize that.
Wow.
Had I known that, I would have been even more skid.
Oh, I feel like maybe we shouldn't have played it then or whatever. You would have been more what?
Would have been far more skid, just like she is. She's skid.
She got to use it to get her point across, obviously.
What was her point?
Exactly.
Exactly. And that is, I think, at the heart of the matter.
I just feel bad for James Spader today.
Why?
Having to see this, reminding the great battle with Raw.
Oh, that's true.
It's got to be very triggering.
And let's face it, he can't even, I'm sure there's some government services he cannot access, even though he is going to have some problems.
It's a good point.
So blacklist may go off the air. This is bad. It is. Now I'm starting to worry. Now I really am skid. I'm very skid.
Yeah.
Now ordering, as in summoning, federal government workers to go back to work without getting paid.
There it is. That's the big takeaway. So I think now people are realizing how essential this non-essential situation is.
Essentially, yes.
Okay, good.
Or non-essentially, either way. It's just yeah. I think that's pretty much all there is to say.
It's not, it's not just them. There's more.
There's
other people that are very it's not just them.
No.
It's not just Bernie Sanders. No. That wouldn't be enough. No. And you poo-pooed that. It's Cardi B too. So there's also other politicians and other celebrities that are very concerned about this stuff. And about those government workers not having a paycheck.
Oh no.
The businesses. I don't recall them being so concerned in the past, but these are different times now.
It's a new day.
Well, with Trump's ordering of summiting and stuff, that's really summer seat. That's right.
Summer seat.
I would say we should all be doing what we can to help out, and I have some suggestions here. I mean, if you could donate something to some government worker, I'm getting ready for a significant contribution to government workers to help them out of money, cash. Very.
All right. How much you planning?
Thousands and thousands of dollars.
You're going to send it to them just to.
I will be within weeks. I feel comfortable saying by early to mid-February, I will be sending them thousands and thousands of dollars.
Just out of the kindness of your heart, you want to send them money. Just so
I do it every year. Each and every year.
Every year.
It usually happens in early to mid-February, but I always get it in by April 15th. Always sending them money every time.
We're still talking about money.
So,
any particular reason that you want to?
Because I have to. They make me. So, But,
all the taxes.
It's not that I don't want to, mind you.
You don't even have to send it to them. They already took it.
I'm sorry, what?
You don't have to send it to them. They already took it.
Yeah, they do. But I usually have to send them a little more, too, quite often.
Well, there's that.
Sometimes they're kind and they send a little bit back. Not much, but, sometimes maybe $58, $104, something like that. But,
not $50 million, though.
No. And they don't send any interest back in the, what they had all year, so they at least made the interest. But, isn't it worth it?
Oh, yeah.
For non-essential employees.
Absolutely. Somebody has to pay for the non-essential aspects of government.
But I imagine it's got to be very stressful for those government workers, right?
I would think so.
And a lot of them probably in mental anguish.
Yes.
And probably many of them in physical pain. And like Bernie said, they can't even go to the doctor.
I know. It's tough. It's tough for them, and I do feel bad. Maybe everyone should chip in and send a few bags of Relief Factor.
Of what?
Of Relief Factor.
What's that going to do?
Well, if they're in pain, if they have these, obviously these government workers are in pain.
That would give them relief?
It would give them relief. It's right there in the name. Relief Factor.
It's a brilliant name.
And it's only going to...
It's a brilliant name.
Here's the beauty of it. If you go to the website, relieffactor.com, and it's $20...
Same as downtown.
To send them a bag of Relief Factor... It will ease their pain.
It really sums it all up. Relief Factor.
It does.
Their original choice of loadsofribs.com.
Yeah, they ran that by a committee, and apparently
they shot it down.
But it's genius to run that sort of thing by a committee, because I would have gone with the original name.
Yeah, loads of ribs. Just so you know, if you go to relieffactor.com, you're not getting ribs.
No, you're not. A lot of people make that mistake.
You will likely get relief.
Yeah, from pain.
Relief Factor, right? That's exactly. How does it work? I'm always confused.
Oh, it's full of chemicals, and it's full of dangerous.
Wait a minute, no, the package doesn't say any of that.
Opioids and
no, the
chemicals.
package says it's just like supplements and stuff. Icarium,
that's
resveratrol,
right.
curcumin,
They went
omega.
back to the other formula. See, they were going to fill it with chemicals and things that you'd find in the gutter.
And according to this, no ribs.
See?
There's no ribs. There's no pork whatsoever. Let me look. No barbecue sauce.
Nope.
No cornbread.
Nope.
No accoutrements that you would normally get while having ribs.
No, none of that. But you will find things like curcumin and turmeric and omega-3s, everything that can fight inflammation in your body. And if,
is it gluten-free?
It is, as a matter of fact, I believe gluten-free.
Yes, the package, yeah.
Yes.
Cholesterol-free. It's all of those things. So that's good.
And remember, if your doctor says no, we say yes.
Okay, sounds good. So that's relieffactor.com. That would be relieffactor.com. So are people sharing via the social media their tragedies this morning, trying to make it to work?
And they're also applauding Cardi B. Jack Hole, Angry Beaver, I think, put it very well. She said, who knew Cardi B was so eloquent? She should give lessons on public speaking.
She?
Yeah,
that's a woman?
Yeah, she's actually a female under there. I mean, the only reason I know...
Cardi B is a woman?
Well, she's wearing eyeshadow, but then I stopped back. I think, wait a second, it's not just women who wear eyeshadow.
Oh, I get it.
I just want to remind you, because it's been a little bit over 3 weeks, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's been a little bit over 3 weeks. Trump is now ordering, as in summoning, federal government workers to go back to work without getting paid.
That's a woman?
Yeah, well, she's got a higher pitch. So
did you see the pictures, the video?
Yeah, it was guys don't have long hair. It's the facial.
Oh, it's the New World Order. I forgot she's trans. Which way is she transitioning?
That's
to a woman or from a woman?
Yes.
Because I saw a lot of people ripping on her today. Lots of people on the right for this video. Lots of people beating her up.
Trans haters. Obviously,
that's the reason this morning I tweeted out, please stop mocking trannies. Don't do it.
Yeah.
She can't help it. She was born that way. Born that way.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's Lady Gaga, but that's a different story.
But she was still born that way, I'm guessing. She didn't say, I want to be a man trapped in a woman's body or vice versa, whichever the case may be. She didn't want to say, I'm two-spirit trapped in a non-gender fluid binary person's body. She didn't say that. All she's doing is making her way through the world today with everything she's got. That's what she's doing, Brad. I don't know. That's what that person, Cardi B, is trying to do today.
Sure will take
while battling all of the death and destruction in the street caused by Trump's sessioning.
Well, I think, again, Stinky put it best. I still have no idea who this person was, kept calling me bitch. Stinky.
It's a fellow human who's transitioning. That's all you need to know. And
haters.
That she's right about the death and destruction.
Yeah, well, there's that.
We don't care what you stick where, but we're not paying for it. Comprende? MoJo 50.
I'm Mike Opelka from PureOpelka.com. Here's your 2-minute drill. Today's the anniversary of President Eisenhower's farewell address from the White House. Eisenhower thanked the nation for being able to serve his country, but he also issued what some considered a prophetic warning about allowing military strength to get too much influence and control over our entire government.
We annually spend on military security alone more than the net income of all United States corporations. Now, this conjunction of an immense military establishment and a large arms industry is new in the American experience. We recognize the imperative need for this development, yet we must not fail to comprehend its grave implications. We must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
Wise words, and I think we have heeded them. We haven't had the threat of a military coup, but Eisenhower also warned America of an intellectual industrial complex that I think could have led to things like the global warming scam. Listen.
The prospect of domination of the nation's scholars by federal employment, project allocations, and the power of money is ever present and is gravely to be regarded.
But wait, there's more.
We must also be alert to the equal and opposite danger that public policy could itself become the captive of a scientific, technological elite.
Public policy held.
Mike Opelka's 2-minute drill is powered by MoJoWildRice.com. Their wild rice is a superfood, gluten, sodium, fat, and cholesterol-free, yet high in fiber, protein, zinc, phosphorus, and trace minerals. But you're going to love it because it's delicious. MoJoWildRice.com. MoJoWildRice.com. Testudo. Testudo.
Did Opelka suddenly go to the Cardi B School of Communication?
I think so, yeah. I don't know what happened there, a little technical issue there. But I think the gist of the 2-minute warning drill, what is it?
It's the 2-minute firing line.
Okay, very good. You look like you want to share some other communiques.
Chris Berryman over on Facebook says they're building a case for why they buckled on the wall funding while we oppose the wall. The health of the planet is far too important to allow for 95% of the EPA to be out of work. That's exactly what they're doing.
You know what? I'm glad he brought that up because there's some other people very concerned, like Steny Hoyer.
Oh, good.
The statesman, Steny Hoyer.
I woke up worrying about that.
Steny Hoyer on Fox News with Bret Baier, communicating and speechifying and commenting on the shutdown and the wall. Because Nancy Pelosi, super genius, disinvited, uninvited President Trump to give the State of the Union address coming up. He was supposed to give it, I think, next week on Tuesday night, the 22nd.
For good reason.
Because safety.
Yes, of course.
If you've got all those unneeded employees that are not going to be there, who's going to secure the Capitol?
Exactly. She's just concerned about our president's safety and well-being.
And the president pointed out that security is needed, that they have not been furloughed.
Yeah, exactly. They're even security.
Right, and the Department of Homeland Security said, yeah, we're good. All of our employees are here that we need. We're good. Ready to go.
Yeah. Secret Service. Yeah, we're
and then
good.
she said he should either postpone it or deliver it in text form.
Right.
Because the Constitution requires that the president annually give a State of the Union address.
Right.
Or, excuse me, give a State of the Union. It does not have to be done live. It doesn't have to be televised. It does not distinguish what should be said.
Right.
It does not identify how long it should be. It doesn't say any of that. He just has to say. So the president could literally send a handwritten note that said, we're cool.
He could send a note that says Illinois is the State of the Union.
Right, he could do anything.
Yes,
he could send a note that just says "Waka Waka." Doesn't say what it is.
Which I would love if he did that.
Right.
Waka Waka.
He could send them a picture of him flipping them the bird. That's the State of the Union.
Yeah, that would be brilliant.
Right.
And if anybody would do it, he would.
Couldn't he send him a mirror?
A mirror?
Yeah. This is the State of the Union. Take a look.
Yes.
I mean. So she said, he should send it in written form or whatever. Right. Now, quick little side note before we get to Steny Hoyer and his comments on Nancy Pelosi's comments on Trump's State of the Union because of the shutdown and the unneeded people and the security that will be there because they are needed versus the people who are unneeded.
Nightmares I had about it last night.
Yes. Quick little side note, that would be that what Trump should do is say, I'm not going to give it in person. Now, he wants to give it in person, and the reason the presidents often do is because it's publicity for them. It's the bully pulpit. It gets all that coverage, which the networks aren't likely going to cover anyways or would follow Nancy Pelosi. Right. So let's say he tried to do it from the White House, give an address. They may not even carry it.
Well, I don't see. You're assuming that the networks are going to take sides in this sort of thing.
And, no, they're not going to. They already have taken sides.
That's such a negative view.
So if I were President Trump, I would send them a written State of the Union, and it would not be with all the flowery projections of what he's going to do and what he's already accomplished. Instead, it would be based, and it would be relatively short, based on their failures. And I would put, State of the Union, we in trouble because of your nonsense. Hey, State of the Union, your nonsense where we are being invaded on our southern border and have been for some time. And I would put that all out there and put it all on them. Now, the networks would cover the text that he sent them, the more outrageous parts. Likely. But then I would give, so he's officially covered there if he sends them the written.
Right.
Okay. Or he could send a videotape of himself. In addition to the written, or just sending a videotape, I would give it from the border. Go down to the border.
Right.
Maybe to the fence. McAllen is someplace where there's a little chicken wire fence or there's nothing there or whatever. And I'd have a couple of Border Patrol agents down there.
Yep.
That are there, that are, getting his back, or ICE, who's been beat up by Nancy Pelosi and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and others who claim that they're evil because they're doing their jobs, and just say, here's the problem, and just stick it right in their eye.
Oh, the point. Stick it, the point right. Yes.
Yes, that was metaphorical.
Right.
Stick it in their eye, whatever.
Just want to make sure.
How does that sound?
I like it. I like it. And I think if any president would ever do it, this one would. I think that he has the cojones to do just that.
Get on there. Yep. I would set it up. I would. You know who else I would have there?
Who?
I would have Maria Espinoza from the Remembrance Project.
Her, yeah.
Okay. And at the risk of seeming sensational or benefiting from tragedy, I would potentially have some of these family members whose loved ones were killed.
Well, every other president does that. Don't you remember who was it?
Put them in the gallery, yeah.
President Obama had.
They all do, yeah.
Of course.
So
let me tell you a story.
Maybe you just have. How about this as an unprecedented State of the Union? He does it partially in interview form.
He does an interview.
As part of it, he starts speechifying.
Okay, yeah.
Records it and then sends it to Congress. Okay,
Right.
so you go down there and you tell everybody what you're doing. You know what? F them. They're going to claim, even though their security is fine, because they're playing politics with the State of the Union address, which is my constitutional obligation.
Right.
I will do it this way. I'm going to give the speech from the border, and then I will send them a copy and even a transcript to make sure I'm constitutionally covered.
Right.
And here's what I'm going to do it and lay it out there. And I would make it all about the border, and I would put it right back in their lap, and I would say, and as part of this, I reference Maria Espinoza. Maria, tell me what you do. Well, we're at the Remembrance Project. We target blah, 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 and help all the families whose loved ones have been killed, raped, whatever, from illegals.
Right.
And then I would introduce ICE agents and say, tell me what you experience. And, hey, Border Patrol, tell me about MS-13.
Yeah.
And maybe have somebody from the FBI or CIA talking about the illegal or the likelihood that terrorists could cross the border. And I would keep it short with them, but I would say, so is the border secure? Are we all good? And what are your concerns, Maria?
I think that's a good idea.
She'd rather like to reference Kate Steinle and some of the others.
The Border Patrol, when they spoke at his the press conference, that was very effective.
And I'm pretty sure he could find. I'm pretty sure had he given her the opportunity, Maria Espinoza or somebody with the Remembrance Project would do this.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that an ICE agent or the director of ICE would do it because they are being savaged by the left, by the statists there. Probably somebody heading up the Border Patrols or even the Border Patrol Union, right? Get somebody out there, and you do a minute or two with each, and you go back and you make your case and then leave it in their lap.
I think that's a great idea. I think he should do that.
And even if it won't actually accomplish anything by changing hearts or minds to the truth of what's going on down there, he would at least give Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer the big FU.
Yeah, he would. Yes, he would. And I don't know what they're afraid of him saying. Because it's obvious that's what they don't want. They don't want him standing in front of Congress.
No, I don't think that's it. I think you're wrong. They're not afraid of what he would say because they will just poo-poo it.
Well, then they're foolish because their reasons for disinviting or uninviting him have been disproven. So obviously it's a lie.
You're right, but they don't care about that. It's all about them giving him the FU. Again, they're not going to change hearts or minds. They're just emboldening or empowering or inspiring the people that are on their side. Look at what we're doing. And they think they're being clever with it.
They think they are.
We won't invite him. And why? We don't want him to stay. Because government workers aren't here. Right. They think it's clever, except which government workers? Well, security.
I don't think that they anticipated Homeland Security or the Secret Service responding the way they did.
Well, and here's the thing about that. Homeland Security, Secret Service, many of them are going to be on the left, many are going to be on the right. Doesn't matter the breakdown. You are going to lose if you're making the argument it won't be secure because they are going to report the truth. Do you have the manpower to secure? Secret Service is like, no, we're good.
Yeah.
They're essential. They're not putting the president's life in jeopardy.
Of course not.
With the shutdown, they're not doing it.
No.
So
they're dedicated employees.
So left or right, they are going to have to report the facts that we are at full force.
Yeah. I know. It's a no-win, which it's stunning that people still listen to Pelosi.
They think they're playing Trump's game with the little catty things like this.
We'll beat him at his own game.
No. The only way you can beat him at his own game is to go bigger and bolder than him. Be more crazy. His game, love or hate Trump, when it comes to stuff like this, is to be a bomb thrower, to go full crazy.
Right.
Full retard.
Yep.
Full insanity.
Yeah.
You tweet this stuff out, you comment, you just get out there. Now, he's left himself a lot of headroom. He's a lot of ways he could go and take this. And they're going to do a little caddy. We're not going to invite you and make points. You're losing. You will lose if you're going to try to do that. So,
well, he doesn't care. That's
he does not.
She cares. Schumer cares. They care about what their side of the aisle thinks.
Well, and they're doing it because of their careers. He cares because of his ego. Now, they're a little bit butthurt because of their ego and stuff, too. Trump just wants a legacy. But he's become more and more emboldened throughout his presidency of realizing that he is still going to be loved by lots of people.
Yeah, that's the truth.
So while he wants overall, I believe, his legacy long-term, as people look back 20, 50, 100 years from now, to be significant, to be well-received, I think part of him is probably realizing now that no matter what you do, there's going to be people that don't like you.
Pink Floyd suggests he just tweets the whole thing.
Oh, Pink Floyd. Damn, that's good. Oh, my gosh. Holy crap, that's good.
That'd blow their minds, he said.
Now, the only reason I know this is more of my Twitter thing, there should not be threads. So unless he tweets a picture of it, you know, the speech where you get more words, or keeps it under the 280 characters. So
that would be great.
So maybe he periscopes it on Twitter, but I see where you're going. It's the whole bomb throwing on Twitter.
Yep.
So maybe it's this. Something like, do you reference? Here it is. Ready? Here it is. At Nancy Pelosi, at Chuck Schumer, at Mitch McConnell, at Kevin McCarthy.
Right.
The four leaders in both parties in the House and Senate.
Yep.
This will constitute my official State of the Union address. 2019, Donald J. Trump, POTUS.
Yep.
And you do a colon, and you put F off, bitches.
That would,
or whatever. Fill in the
right.
Right?
Yeah. Rants out loud. He should tweet storm the State of the Union in a thread on Twitter and Periscope a live stream from the border with no networks involved. Let him flip the script and put it in his own terms.
Oh, let me think here. Hashtag.
Why not? Boy, that would put Twitter. I wonder if Twitter would try to shut it down.
Go ahead.
James, I think Trump should save money, drive up to the Capitol in the Beast, get out with a bullhorn, and give the address, and go back home.
He could do it.
There's so many ways. Yeah, he has a lot of ways that he could turn this whole thing around on him. And I don't think that's what they anticipate because they don't know how crazy he can get.
How about this? Hashtag suggested State of Union, SOTU script. Does that work as a text? Suggested SOTU script.
Maybe. Yeah.
Why don't you tweet that out there? Because what would you suggest that President Trump, if he were going to tweet it in few words? I mean, obviously, I'm not looking for you to write an entire speech, but let's say you did. I'm going to tweet it right now so you get the format of it. There it is. Suggested SOTU script. First one to use it could. So we'll kind of own this. I don't know. What would you put, again, if the president tweets out at Nancy Pelosi, at Chuck Schumer, blah, 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 my official State of the Union address, January 18th or whatever day he does it, 2019, signed Donald J. Trump, president, whatever, hashtag suggest State of the Union script, what would it be? F off, bitches. You suck. America is weaker because you suck.
Yeah, that's good.
How about this? Oh, man. Wow. Woo! You ready for this one?
Did you have a summer seed just then?
I think I did.
Okay.
Hashtag suggested SCOTUS or SOTU script. Ready?
Right. Yep.
Kate Steinle. That's the entire text of the script. That's the entire tweet as his official State of the Union address. Kate Steinle. The woman, the young woman who was murdered on the piers in San Francisco, meeting her father by the illegal.
He was just picking up the gun. It just went off.
That he had possession of. That was a stolen gun, mind you.
I thought he found it in a bag and just was
That's what he claimed, but it was stolen. Yeah.
You're suggesting
and then he shot her, and he was not punished for that. She died in her father's arms on a sunny day in San Francisco when they were meeting for lunch by an illegal. And nothing happened. So isn't that the point of a border wall? Security first.
That does sum it up in a nutshell.
How about this would be holy crud.
There's so many good.
Oh my gosh, guys. No. He goes through with the entire pomp and circumstance of a State of the Union with a joint session of Congress. Maybe he even says, because she wants him to delay it. I don't know how he gets them to go along with it and still be shut down, but assuming he could, right?
Right.
And then, Madam Speaker, the President of the United States. Woo! People, hey, how you doing? Right. You glad? It goes through the whole normal crap they do.
Right.
You know, the 10-minute walking in, glad hand, and other people standing there, and other people shaking his hand or whatever. And you walk all the way up. You do the official, you hand them the text of the script, right?
Right.
In the envelope.
Right.
Right? And you shake their hands or whatever. And you turn and you go, Kate Steinle. And then you turn and you walk off.
That would be, hey, you know what?
That is, well,
I think I might.
That is high level trolling right there.
I think I might have the right music. Might have the right music for this here.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't that just the networks and everybody goes nuts, and they cannot deny covering that.
Yeah,
because of the sensationalness of it. And who is Kate Steinle? And then you hear the networks try to explain away. It happened, folks, and that guy was not punished.
Yes, exactly. I mean, that's reality. See if this is the right music here. Yeah. Hail to the chief.
They usually don't play that when he enters the
Doesn't
the joint
matter.
session.
It sounds good right now.
Okay.
And he just walks up. It's tremendous. Kate Steinle.
Well, you need to know Google past State of the Unions when people walked in. Maybe even Trump's from last year. Get the entrance. And dude, can you imagine?
Maybe they don't even play music.
No, they don't. That's what I said. It was a Sergeant at Arms, the Sentinel.
It's Commander in Chief.
He goes, Madam Speaker, the President of the United States. He hollers that out. And everybody walks in. Can you imagine?
He just walks up.
Oh, because see what they do is that he hands them usually a copy of the script as his official duty.
Right.
Okay, even though the speechifying would cover him, I'm pretty sure. He's got the text written, and usually it's in an envelope, right?
Right.
And he hands it to him, whatever. But you don't hand him the envelope like they normally, because normally he does that and then turns back around and gives it, right? Because it's going to be a pretty short one, right?
Right.
And then you do it. As you say, Kate Steinle, and as you turn to walk, then hand both of them the script that says...
Kate Steinle.
Just Kate, and it's on like poster, like a postcard size.
Post-it notes. Or even
oh my gosh, a post-it note even better.
Here's
and sign the bottom of it, Donald J. Trump with the date.
Yeah.
There you go, Kate Steinle.
That's a great idea. And again, if any president would ever do it, he's the one who would do it.
Dude, I'm not kidding. That's what I would advise him. That is a nuclear bomb to get your way.
If he holds out, and he should hold out. At this, he has really no other alternative at this point. He cannot go back.
What do they say? What do they say if you simply say Kate Steinle after all that pomp and circumstance, and then to leave all those dirtbag members of Congress, because some of them get to the chamber, the House chamber, 10 hours early so they can get a seat along the aisle.
Right.
They wait there all day so they can get their, or glad hand the president or whatever.
Reach out and shake his hand.
All of those people sitting there all day going through all of that crap. And then he says 2 words. And I absolutely make sure it's only 2 words. You pause.
Well, you have to say, was it ladies and gentlemen?
No, that's what the guy says who brings you in.
But doesn't the president say something?
Often they will just, as part of the beginning of a speech, he'll say, Madam Speaker, President of the Senate, or Vice President.
Our State of the Union.
Yeah.
And then just once he says our State of the Union is.
Or the State of the Union is. You could do that.
Kate Steinle.
Boy.
God bless America.
I wouldn't put anything after it. Limited up front, nothing after it.
Well, if he doesn't say God bless America, then they'll all come out and say, well, I didn't mention God bless America.
Yeah, some of them haven't said that.
Who was the last one not to say that?
It would be so overshadowed by everything else.
That's true.
So what do they say? What does Nancy say? What do they all? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? What does the media say?
He shamed the offices of the presidency by making the State of the Union a joke. See, then that would bite them.
A joke? It wouldn't. It's not a joke.
But that's what I'm saying.
The only thing they would have is your trying to profit or push this off of tragedy. Now, I would do my due diligence. If I'm in his office today, I would say, Mr. President, we got to talk to Kate Steinle's dad.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yes. He should know about it
Right.
first. Mm-hmm. But yes, that would be brilliant.
Yeah. You talk to Kate Steinle's. Yeah. There's got to be somebody else that would, even if Kate Steinle's parents would. And again, just because you don't want to invoke her name.
There have been enough people murdered by illegal aliens that you'd find some family that would agree. Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely.
And then I'd have my follow-up statements ready for the media that if they say, "Oh, you're profiting off of tragedy," and I would go down. I would have 100 examples of people saying, let's ban guns right after a tragedy. Mm-hmm. I would have all of that ready to go, and I would just throw this out there. But can you imagine?
And then what do the Democrats do in response?
What can they do?
Well, if they're smart,
they melt down and they start screaming at nothing. It's all sound and fury signifying nothing. What do you do? The only thing they could come up with is profiting off of tragedy, and he wasn't taking it serious. But again, if you say he wasn't taking it serious, you don't think Kate Steinle's death is serious?
Right. Yeah, that's it. He puts them in the corner.
Brevity is the soul of wit.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I don't know what they would do in response. I mean, the only thing I could think is they would, he's chosen to overlook problems like the Parkland High School. Stoneman Douglas.
Priorities done. This is the issue. This is the issue. It's a serious issue. You're right, they could, but I mean, I think all of that falls flat. And the people that hate Trump are going to hate him anyways.
Right.
You may win over a few people with it because there's, if you've got any fringe people that don't pay as much attention to this stuff and they go, well, who's Kate Steinle?
Right. Yes.
And you get her name out there outside of just conservative media.
Yeah.
You force CNN and MSNBC and these others to cover Kate Steinle's death and the death of these other people again.
Attack Yuki suggests Kate Steinle isn't nearly enough. Trump should read the names of every person raped or killed by an illegal since he took office.
Okay, you got a great point there. That would be powerful as well. Names. To make him sit there while he reads a list of names.
Boy, that would make him squirm.
Oh, crud. That does.
And again, I like both sides of the aisle would hate this.
Absolutely. I love the sucker punch of Kate Steinle and then leave. I love that. But reading all of the names does make him sit there. And if they get anybody rolling their eyes during this, attack Yuki, that's setting another bear trap that I hadn't thought of.
That is good. Yeah, because they can't get any of the nodding off, the
you got to pay attention.
Cud thing.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Just read every name. Point out the nation what all these politicians in the chambers are getting paid a lot while federal employees are not. Kool-Aid with a gutter water chaser, I believe that would be.
I hate him.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
He said
you play Cardi B's video and you're worried about what he said?
Who?
Whoever the tweet is from.
Oh, no, I wasn't. No, I was just going through to find one and going to the names, trying to find ones that would, because I just clicked on suggested SOTU script.
Uh-huh.
SOTU script. Man, attack Yuki, you're right. I would love to see him because they're going to fall asleep anyways. It's just so long in there, right?
Salting Duck is making a good point. Have we fallen into an alternate universe? Salting Duck, he should set up a huge screen for a visual aid. Just read a list of men, women, children killed by illegals, show pictures of them with their families, and then their graves, as he read.
Mm-hmm. Now, the follow-up to this would be the media the next day would show people.
How he got it wrong.
Yeah, they would do that, but I think they would show the people killed in custody of ICE, but it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. And it just make them sit there.
Well, anybody killed in the custody of ICE or anybody who died in the custody of ICE is not a citizen of this country, most likely. So again, we've got the argument set up. Are you more concerned with non-citizens or citizens of the United States of America who you are supposed to be representing, which they don't?
If he had a list of names that lasted an hour by just reading the names, maybe a little over an hour,
even 30 minutes, even 15 minutes, 10 minutes is going to feel like an eternity when you're doing that.
I think you got to go over a half an hour because they're sitting there thinking, how long is he going to go with this?
Right.
And you've got to seem engaged, right? Even the Republicans You've got to be showing concern on the edge of your seat, and most of them don't do that anyway, even during, right?
If he does this.
And is there a possibility that they try to interrupt him? That they start, because normally the applause does from people on the right. Maybe they do, but they can't do it because this is serious.
There's no applause point.
Right. And you've got to lead with a name or two that are big enough that everybody gets it right off, like Kate Steinle.
Right.
And, or more people would get right or get right off. And you start that off and you just go, Kate Steinle. The next name on the list, whatever it is. Right. I can't even come up with a bunch of the names.
Right.
And then the next name. And you pause. Dramatic, and you look out. And about the third name, they're going to go, usually give 3, and then you make your point, right? Oh, wait, he gave 4 names. He gave 5 names. 6? Is he only 7? I think this guy's only going to...
Actually, I think you'd start hearing harumphs at that point.
And if you do,
yeah,
you're not taking the death. If they will absolutely get a congressman, maybe several. They could walk out. Yeah. Can you imagine if they walked out on reading a list of names of dead Americans killed by illegals, that this is the center of the whole argument of the government shutdown and the wall? See, this is bear trap after bear trap. Their only reaction can be sit there and look engaged and take it serious. Right. Even people on the left, the state is there. And then after the State of the Union, poo-poo him and trash him for not taking the death of kids more serious. And it shouldn't be just... a tragedy that's their only way out, and even that's not going to be that effective. He's got them. He's got them by the short hairs several times over if he does it that way, and it's got to be long. And then, if I were him, I would wrap it up with the final, and I wouldn't. Do you give a final sentence?
No, I don't. No, you don't give them anything else to shoot at. You give them that, and that's it. I think you're, and maybe you don't even say "God bless America."
No, I think you're right. You end it with the last name, and you pause a painfully long period of time. Mm-hmm. I'm talking when you're on stage like that, or you're listening to anything like this for a dramatic pause. Everything goes really fast when you're on stage. So a second seems like 30.
Yeah,
5 seconds seems like you've been up there for 6 minutes. I would pause if I were him for about 15 seconds, and I would look at each one of the cameras. I would look at one camera, and then look over at the other camera, go over at another. I would turn. I would look at the Speaker of the House. Mm-hmm. I would look at her, maybe give her a little head bob.
Yeah.
And then I would turn and walk off stage.
We hand him the...
hand him. Oh, there it is. That's when you hand him. There it is. And you walk off. Oh.
Yeah. He could do it.
Gosh,
anybody
make this
could
happen.
do it.
Come on. I didn't even get a Steny Hoyer. We'll kick that guy down the road for a little bit later on in the show. Your headlines coming up next on your Daily Mojo.
If we weren't so bad.
To puppy rape.
I like to cuss.
Do I want to keep my penis?
Cat wants some black titty.
We wouldn't be so good. MoJo 50. This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Some of President Trump's congressional allies dismiss as a political stunt House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's suggestion that the president postpone the State of the Union speech until the partial government shutdown is over. Pelosi cites security concerns, but DHS Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen says there'd be no problem securing the speech. What will the president do? Well, he has several options.
There's nothing requiring Mr. Trump to deliver a State of the Union speech before a joint session of Congress on Capitol Hill. If he wanted to, he could give remarks from the Oval Office or any location. He could organize an alternative event on January 29th, or, as the House Speaker suggested, he could give the State of the Union in writing. Greg Clugston, the White House.
A 21-year-old Georgia man under arrest for allegedly plotting to attack government targets in D.C., targets including the White House. Hasher Tlaib allegedly planned to use an improvised explosive device and anti-tank rocket. The president should talk missile defense later today.
Details about the missile defense review, the first since 2010, are expected when President Trump visits the Pentagon. Senior officials tell reporters that the new study finds in order to adequately protect the United States, the Pentagon needs to place a layer of sensors into space to more quickly detect, track, and ultimately defeat incoming missiles. The new strategy is aimed at better defending the U.S. against potential adversaries such as Russia and China, who have been developing and fielding a much more expansive range of advanced defensive missiles, including hypersonic weapons that could threaten America and its allies. Tim McGuire, Washington.
Negotiations planned today in the Los Angeles teachers' strike. That walkout now in its fourth day. Stock futures in the red this morning on Wall Street. Dow futures down about 96 points. S&P futures off 10 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey guys, Ron Phillips with the Conservative Cartel. Are you tired of the bar scene, hoping to find the love of your life? Well, there is a better way for you single guys and ladies out there. Check out WeThePeople.dating. They make it easy to find a liberty-minded match, and it takes less than a minute to create a free account and begin browsing through over 11 million monthly subscribers. Look, we all know the success of a relationship hinges on the core shared values of a couple. So check out WeThePeople.dating for the love of people and people of love. Sign up and start dating today. WeThePeople.dating. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of a partner.
This is Tim Barton from Wall Builders with another moment from American history. Many today assert that religion is something private, that it has no place in the public square, and that it is incompatible with government. But the Founding Fathers believed exactly the opposite. They held that religion was absolutely necessary in order to maintain our free system of government. For example, John Adams declared, "We have no government armed with power, capable of contending with human passions unbridled by morality and religion." And signer of the Declaration, Benjamin Rush, similarly affirmed, "Without religion, there can be no virtue, and without virtue, there can be no liberty, and liberty is the object and life of all Republican governments." The Founding Fathers understood that limited government required public morality from the people, and that public morality was produced by the Christian religion. For more information about the Founding Fathers' views on religion and public life, go to wallbuilders.com.
You get great service and you do some good in the world with Patriot Mobile. Sign up for a Patriot Mobile account today. Start saving money, get great coverage, and do a little bit of good because they support companies, organizations, and candidates that you like. It's patriotmobile.com/doc. patriotmobile.com/doc.
Ladies, some of you sickos willingly accept that with the big doe eyes that you don't even need from a Snapchat filter and just look up at R. Kelly and say, "Give me your best."
The Rants of Izzo. United 7. MoJo 50. MoJo 50. The question isn't who's going to let us. The question is who's going to stop us. The mothership has landed.
I don't know what it is, but the last couple of weeks, there have been so many noteworthy stories of children that have been killed.
Oh, I know.
Listen, kids are always killed, and it's always noteworthy. But I mean, just in some sensational ways.
Mm-hmm.
There was the girl I mentioned yesterday who was left out or got out of the house in the middle of the night in New Hampshire and froze to death.
Right.
Died of exposure on her front steps because she couldn't get back in.
Mm-hmm.
This is horrible, and several others. And then this one out of Florida a couple of days ago, 3 kids that died in a freezer.
Oh, good grief. No.
I hate these so much. It's not just that kids die. It's the extra helplessness of these stories. I finally got to the heart of why it's so triggering.
Right.
Anytime you see a story about a kid dying, parents feel helpless and the rest of society feels helpless. It's just not supposed to happen.
Right.
Well, these kids, whether it's a girl outside or the ones in the freezer, you can't help but think, if only, I just wish I could, if somebody would have. And the parents are going, why did I, if only
yes, it's all the second guessing. It'll make you insane.
Yes, you're so close. It's just, it shouldn't have happened. It was if one little thing had changed. And I do that every time I read these stories. And I feel horrible for the parents because they second guess themselves, even if there's nothing that is their fault or nothing that could have been done.
Right.
These 3 kids, 1, 4, and 6. This is in Suwannee County, Florida. So basically, the kids were outside playing and climbed in an old freezer.
Right.
Now, for years, we used to hear the stories when we were kids. Don't climb in the refrigerators or freezers. Then they started taking the doors off of them.
Always take the doors off. You're going to dump them.
Right. A lot of those, though, were the old ones where they latched.
Yeah.
Now the modern ones were just magnets and you could push them open. Right. And we just haven't seen those stories in a long time.
Well, even if they don't latch, even if it's just magnets, if something gets set in front of them and they can't, if somebody pulls a car up in front of it and you still can't open. So if there's no door, you can't do that.
Right, exactly. But we just don't hear those stories, mainly because those latches.
Right.
This is different. There was an aftermarket hasp put on it so they could padlock the door.
Yep.
And nobody padlocked it, but when they climbed inside, it swung over and caught just enough. Now, the oldest one was 6. They're not going to know enough to keep jiggling it. Maybe you get out or something else.
They're not going to have strength to
do it
to push
too,
it off anyway.
So they were in there, and it did not take long.
No, you run out of air real fast in a small box.
There's 3 of them, and it was within an hour.
Yeah, you panic, and they start probably screaming, and they
were going to be crying, absolutely.
Yep.
And
that's awful.
Witnesses say, talked about the tragedy. And
where was it? Where did it happen?
This is in Florida. I do have some questions about, should they? One of the kids is 1 year old. Why were they outside by themselves? There is that.
What was was it an old? It must have been an old abandoned one, obviously.
Yeah, it was in their yard or something. I don't know. It was a chest style.
Well, but you start if you have an old freezer in your backyard.
Take the door off, guys. Yeah. Just take the door off.
Yeah, that's the bottom line. All 3 kids.
3 of them. And so if you're the parents or the family, it's bad enough to lose one, but you lose them all. It's not enough grief. You will never get to all the grief.
This has been an uplifting hour so far.
Right? Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow. Just powerfully bad. Powerfully bad. I mean, I'm not even going to. You question why they were out there, but the parents are, I'm sure, not doing well today.
Oh, of course not.
Speaking of which, one of the jackholes we mentioned yesterday, James in Louisiana, had a son. His son, Matthew, passed away. He was just born in December.
1 month old, I believe.
I think exactly 1 month. I want to say December 16th to January 16th. And I think he's up and active today on Twitter. Some of the other jackholes had mentioned what was going on, and they set up a crowdfunding page just to help pay the expenses for the funeral and other things. And James wasn't leading that charge, but he appreciates any help.
Oh, absolutely.
So
I'm about to tweet that out.
We'll see. You're gonna okay, good. Maybe tweet it, put it on social media. If all of you could share it, and even throw $1, $2, $10, whatever it is, I'm sure I'd appreciate any of it. I followed some of his comments on social media yesterday, and I can't imagine that amount of pain. I understand why he's up and active today, because it's going to help.
Yeah, and I would imagine that he just anything to keep his mind off of it.
Right.
So it's tweeted out. I'll put it up on the Facebook page as well. But yeah, our hearts and
James is a good guy and really appreciate it. Met him in Birmingham when we were there years ago. I think
That's
Skip
right.
and I, and I think you were there too.
I was there.
So good guy. I think he came and hung out with us during the show that morning. But if you can help him out, Brad just posted the stuff out, and maybe share it as well.
Yep, please do.
All right. Move on to the rest of this.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay, let's do this.
We've scoured news platforms and agencies around the globe for today's most profound news headlines. Presenting them now, here's Brad Staggs.
What's up, jackholes? The first part of your headlines made possible by I keep wanting to say ERA now. It's ERA Capital Management.
Well, we were talking about the Equal Rights Amendment earlier that people referred to as the ERA. That's not that.
Find out what they can do to help your retirement a whole lot better at ERACapitalManagement.com. Here's a statistic from YouGov. 55% of Americans think they're smarter than the average American, according to said survey.
Here's the thing. 55% cannot be smarter than the average American.
That's true.
That's statistically impossible.
That's absolutely correct.
I mean, it's possible that they think that, but statistically impossible to actually be.
And proven in our first headline. A man was badly beaten after a former NFL player caught him masturbating outside his daughter's window.
Let me think. Well, wait a minute. What position did he play? Because if he's a kicker, fine.
He was Tony
good.
Beckham. I'm not sure. He played for the Detroit Lions. Tony Beckham. He became enraged to say the very least.
I mean, I understand that, sure, but
I don't know what position he was.
You don't have to fear him unless he's, it's like a linebacker or something.
Right, yeah, not a kicker. Yeah, no, I wouldn't worry about a kicker.
And was he a starter?
Although if they kick you, that's going to hurt.
Sure, but come on.
Yeah, he thought he was being punked, this being Tony Beckham, when he walked outside of his house to go to his car, and he said there was a man peering into his teen daughter's bedroom with his pants open. It didn't stop the NFL player that he thought he was being punked, but he beat the crap out of the guy anyway.
That's going to be bad, yeah.
Yes, anytime that happens. Jeffrey Cassidy, by the name, is the name of the guy, 48 years old, peering into the window of Beckham's 14-year-old daughter down in Florida.
How was he supposed to know it was a football player?
Exactly.
Come on.
Right? I mean, you can't even be a peeping Tom anymore without fear of being beaten.
Thank you. I'm going to say, no, I'm going to call a foul on that. You were chastising the guy. No, unless he knew the guy was an ex-football player and lived there.
That's true.
He was just peering into some girl's window.
All right, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Because maybe it wasn't a football player. Could have easily just been a dad with a gun.
That's true.
So.
That's true. And I mean, well, the guns are evil, though. Mm-hmm. So he should have feared the gun, not the dad.
Mm-hmm. Does stand your gun laws also include seeing a guy whacking off while staring at your daughter, peeping through a window? I think it probably does.
I think
if not, it should.
You drag them inside, then shoot them.
Oh, I see. That's a good point.
At least you don't have to get Chris Hansen on the deal.
You could always do this. You sneak back inside,
right,
unbeknownst to the whacker,
right.
And then just shoot him right through the window.
Yeah, but see, then because they always say drag somebody through the window if you shoot him outside. Remember that old thing?
And then drag him through.
No, but then you lead a blood trail. Because then Dexter gets on the case and he figures out how the blood spatter works.
All right, you're right.
I don't know. There's so many ways the guy could have gone with this. Up in Boise, Idaho, a woman had a 50-pound tumor removed.
From?
Well, she thought she was gaining weight because of menopause. She discovered she actually had a 50-pound tumor that had been growing inside her for decades.
Too bad we can't find a use for those things.
No kidding. I would love for that to happen to me right now. Oh, no, you've got a 30-pound tumor in you.
No.
Here you go. We'll just take it out.
You do not want a 30-pound tumor to grow in you. You want somebody to tell you the reason you're overweight is because you have a 30-pound tumor and it'll be easily taken care of.
It's not a tumor.
Okay, let's just clarify. You're not wishing for a tumor. You're saying you wish your extra girth is tumor caused.
Do you know it's
tumor related?
Do you know it's not the tumor?
I do not. That was not the point.
Well, I may have to have a CAT scan because that's what she had, and it revealed an enormous tumor that had displaced her organs and was cutting off the blood supply to her brain. She lost 65 pounds in the process. And you know what it was? It turned. We'll just move on.
It was. It wasn't the tumor that was causing the blood loss to her brain. It was her uterus.
Address your comments. Don't at me. Don't at me.
I'm pretty sure that's just standard, right?
I think it is. Usual case.
See, that was
a
sexist. That was slam against women.
Gillette's on the phone. They want to talk to you. Speaking of,
what about men who identify as a woman without a uterus? What about the women without uteri?
The joke, the transition from a man to what was the hardest part transitioning from the man to the woman?
What's that?
Was it the implants? Was it the surgery down below? No, it was the sucking out of the extra 50 IQ points.
It was the lobotomy.
Speaking of, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, a social media star in her own right, is going to school House Democrats on Twitter use.
I saw she mentioned that she's going to be teaching a course.
Today, she is.
Lord, why don't I have access to this stuff?
The most effective ways to engage constituents on Twitter and the importance of digital storytelling is what she'll be talking about the Democrats this morning. She's having hearings with the heads of, the hearings of the heads of Facebook and Google over the past year showed that some lawmakers didn't understand how the platforms made money or even what they did. That was entertaining watching that.
Man, that is gold. It's right there.
Yes.
It's like Fort Knox right there. The gold's there. I just can't get to it.
Yeah, I know. There will be.
Did you see the other thing she said? Oh. My God.
Going to do that now or later?
No, I'm going to mention it real quick here. Brandon Morris, who heads up the Morris Code, a program that is aired on this platform from 1 to 3 weekday afternoons.
With that brown guy sometimes.
Yeah, Jason Hernandez, brown guy. I think that's his nickname.
He's legal.
Legal brown guy,
legal
yeah. Sits in with him, was in with him yesterday, and they quoted Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She, in response to the criticism for the Washington Post, her agenda that they mentioned or whatever, she said that it's going to be a busy 2 years because she's going to run train on the progressive agenda.
Yes. Yes, she does.
Brad, run train, if you look it up in the Urban Dictionary, the younger generations may understand that, the older may not, means what?
To run train, let's see
it's
here.
It's a gangbang.
Yes, it is, pretty much.
It's a rape train.
Or a gang rape.
You're right. It's what they accused Brett Kavanaugh of.
Yes, yeah.
She is going to gang rape the progressive agenda.
Yeah. That's, I'm trying to think of a better way to put that, and there really isn't.
By the way, you know what I learned yesterday from Brandon's show? That gang rape is officially 6 men or more, or people or more.
Is it 6 or more?
Yeah. If it's more than 6, right? When you get to the 6 plateau, then you can call it a gang rape. If it's 5, it's
you can't rape,
something else.
Remember, you can't rape the willing.
True, but assuming they don't want it, that's 6. So what is it, 4 or 5? They're like, well, I mean, there's some people,
right?
And you go 4, 5, 6. Oh, that's a gangbang. Yeah, that's a train right there. I get to be the caboose.
And why is it you only have to kill 3 people to be a serial killer, but 6 people to be a gang rapist?
These are the questions for the ages. Do yourself a favor today and go to Spreaker.com. That's like speaker with an extra, never mind, Spreaker.com.
Yeah.
You can find all of the links were found at MoJo50.com. Go there, type in Morse code, and listen to at least the first hour of Brandon Morris's show from yesterday when he discussed this with Jason Hernandez.
It was good.
They come to it with a younger perspective, and it is gold, Jerry, gold, the entire hour. Or you could join them today, 1 to 3.
Right, yes. Following us, unless you're on the pod. And if you're listening to the podcast, you can just download their podcast too. Because it may not be us or Matlock following us. It's the government shutdown day 27, and the TSA has admitted a passenger carried a firearm past a TSA checkpoint and onto a Delta flight traveling from Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport to... we didn't get far. He only got to Tokyo Narita International Airport. This happened on January 3rd.
Who caught him?
I think he actually went to the TSA and told them. TSA's statement read, TSA's...
there you go.
Yeah. TSA's determined the standard procedures were not followed, and a passenger did, in fact, pass through a standard screening.
Okay.
It's the shutdown, isn't it?
Well,
it has to be the shutdown, doesn't it?
Well, let's say it is.
Well, it's not.
It's
not? No, because the national unscheduled absence rate of TSA staff on Thursday, January 3rd, 2019 was 4.8% compared to 6.3% last year.
So it was actually more people on duty.
Yes.
Okay, but let's say it is the shutdown.
It's not. Some people think it's a shutdown.
But it's not the shutdown.
No.
Let's say it was, okay? And let's say somebody gets... This still proves that TSA is not needed.
Pretty much, yes.
Because the guy who got the gun through, what did he do?
He actually...
When he realized it, he turned himself in.
I believe so, yes.
Meaning that you're all good.
Yeah.
The people will, when they violate the law, either they won't do it or they will turn themselves in. Now, if you're saying, whoa there, doc, there's plenty of people that wouldn't, then you are going to have to answer some questions about our gun laws.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, good to go.
Non-essential and TSA should never be used in the same sentence, because then you'll be accused of making sense. How much money do you have to make every year if you're rich? An online survey said...
Okay, wait. They surveyed everybody?
At 56%. I think there were 1,500 people in the survey.
Multi-generational, they asked them how much you have to learn?
I don't have the breakdown of demographics.
So it's probably everybody. Okay, and what is the question again?
Of the respondents thought that
give it again. What is the question?
How much money do you have to make every year to be rich?
Rich. Hang on. Let me think. What I would say. How much do I have to make every year to be rich? To be rich.
To be rich.
I'm going to have to say you are over the 300 as a household average over 300,000. I'm going to say 300,000. Let's say
$100,000. There you go. $100,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
They obviously are not pricing milk or college.
Right. Well, there's that. It's a good thing we talked to Jake yesterday at Era Capital Management. Because if you are rich, if you're just raking in the dough like that, I mean, you don't have to worry about having all that money at the when you're retired.
I mean, if you're single, if you're single and making $100,000 a year, and you've made that for a decade, and you have lived in a trailer where your monthly expenses are, $45.
Right.
That's a lot of money. And after 10 years, you may be in the rich category there.
If you save.
That's what I mean.
If you save, and if you have a professional who can advise you on how you should be saving and what you should be.
Well, and even if you're not counting for the money you'd make from investments, if it's just, basic, the amount you save, you could save quite a bit. But that is not realistic, especially if you even have a kid or two.
Right. Kids will suck the money right down the drain.
What do they, every couple of years, they come up with a list of what it takes to raise a child from 0 to 18, and it's hundreds. I think the last one was like $250,000 for just the necessities.
It's a lot of money, 3/4 of your heart and most of your soul.
All right.
Other than that.
Hey, if you have not taken the necessary steps to be financially secure, you're going to want to go ahead and contact Era Capital Management at eracapitalmanagement.com. He was in throughout the day yesterday.
Jake's a nice guy.
A really good guy. You got to talk to this guy. Just call him up and find out what he can do for you. That's the bottom line. Eracapitalmanagement.com. Log on. Just ask him. Again, it's not going to cost you anything up front.
And it's a simple phone number.
No, but yeah,
5
do not.
095 5962 followed by a 2 and then a 9. So 50 95 59 62 29 or 5095 59 62 and a 29.
Everybody hates you. So let's just do
because of that.
EraCapitalManagement.com. Contact him today. You're going to be really happy you did. Now, as an advertiser, he supports the platform and likes what we're doing. And we ask that you please support him as well.
Doesn't necessarily like Ron, but that's a different story.
Who?
Ron, the guy over there. He didn't have anything nice to say about Ron.
Okay.
But,
EraCapitalManagement.com.
Era Capital Management, LLC is a registered investment advisor. Era Capital Management, LLC provides fee-only portfolio management. The advisor may not transact business in states where it's not appropriately registered, excluded, or exempted from registration. Keep in mind that investing involves risk and a lot of things. The value of your investment will fluctuate over time, and you may gain or lose money. No strategy can assure success and is not guaranteed. EraCapitalManagement.com.
How sad is it that we have to have all those legal disclaimers because of the government?
It's essential.
Right.
Somebody who does not have to worry, Freddie Mercury's ex-fiancée, Mary Austin. She is set to get probably about $51 million from Bohemian Rhapsody.
Wait, number one, that was a fiancé, and number two wasn't. So why does she get the money unless he willed it to her?
He did. She was left 50% of Freddie's future earnings when he died in 1991. Her share rose to 75% after the death of his parents.
Okay.
And after Bohemian Rhapsody made, good grief, a lot of money at the box office, she's going to get a lot of money. By the way,
but then the next question is, wasn't he a homosexual?
You need to see the movie. You need to see the movie.
Is that a spoiler alert if you tell me?
I don't know that Freddie was completely on either side of the plate.
Okay.
Had a hell of a voice. He had extra teeth. Did you know that?
No.
Like 4 extra molars. Great kisser. Mustache tickled, though. China's moon mission has seen the first seed sprout on the dark side of the moon.
I saw a conspiracy theory that they didn't actually go there.
Well, they are communists. I mean, they could have just said it and not done it. How are we going to check? How are we going to look? You can't see the dark side of the moon because there are no lights.
It's dark.
Why didn't they install a light so we could see the seeds?
So how is it growing if there's no light?
Right? Exactly.
Okay.
Damn commies.
Okay. All right.
I think it's all a lie.
It's a scam. They didn't do it.
Well, their first mission to land on the moon and explore the moon's far side, facing away. That's why typical communists. They do everything in the shadows. Everything is done in the dark.
Hey, China, congratulations. Welcome to the moon. We were there 45 years ago.
Not on the dark side.
Actually, wait a minute. We were there almost 50 years ago.
Not on the dark side. I'm just saying. Been watching Chris
we could have
Hansen.
gone to the dark side if we had wanted to.
But why would we want to?
We are Americans. We live in the light, the sunshine, and
not
beauty, not the dark.
Right.
Like the communists do.
Speaking of the dark side, all those scumbags you see on Chris Hansen's show, To Catch a Predator. And
do you have the info on him, his update?
Interestingly, were you going to say something?
I'm going to mention it after the whatever.
Well, then I will just tease the fact that you will love what happened to Chris Hansen. We'll get to that here in just a second.
Yeah, I have the details on it. It's pretty funny.
It's funny unless you're Chris Hansen.
True.
A Virginia woman's home was invaded by more than 100 praying mantises. Brought in on a Christmas tree.
100? Wow.
100. Those little. Have you ever seen them up close? They are
freaky.
They're from the dark side of the moon.
Are they? Is it still illegal to kill them? When I was a kid, they always told me it was illegal to kill them.
Don't ever kill them. You could go to prison for 10 years. It's worse than a sawed-off
And I remember
shotgun.
as a kid where somebody's like, "Hey, don't kill that. It's illegal." And I was like, "Who's gonna know?"
Only a female praying mantis can kill a praying mantis. You know, she eats their head after sex.
Where's Gillette? Right.
Right. Why aren't we aiming the new ad campaign at praying female mantises? I'm just saying, they are nasty little creatures.
Is that a First Amendment issue? Is that why? Is that why you can't kill them?
Freedom of being ugly?
No. Freedom of religion.
Well, it could be. You're right. They do spend a lot of time in prayer.
This is what I'm saying.
A lot of them. Molly Cruz of Springfield. She is a veterinarian. So unlike the rest of us who would have swatted the damn things, killed them, and vacuumed them up, she's been feeding them and is collecting them in a shoebox and releasing them outdoors.
That's a fail right there.
She's a freak. Obviously.
What you want to do is just call your exterminator and go to a hotel for a day.
Yes, I would set out a bug bomb and be out of that.
Yeah, I do a whole bunch of those, yeah.
Top 5 commodities traded in the world: Brent oil, gold, natural gas, followed by coffee and then crude oil.
Coffee's what on the list?
Is number 2 on the list of the top 5 commodities traded worldwide.
Wow.
Wasn't always popular, though. In Ethiopia, if you drank coffee repeatedly, they tied you into a leather bag and threw you into the ocean.
What? They thought it was, an addiction or something?
They thought it was an addiction. Apparently, this was in Cairo, Egypt, and Turkey. Repeated offenders were sewn into a leather bag and tossed in the ocean.
Well, I mean, it is a...
If you don't buy APR coffee, we'll tie you in a bag and throw you in the MoJo River. Get your APR coffee. It's the
best coffee in the world. AmericanPrideRoasters.com. AmericanPrideRoasters.com.
Michelle Obama's 54 today. Betty White is 96. She's still alive.
Michelle is only 54?
She's 54.
Okay.
She's not looking bad, I don't think. She's got some great arms.
I just thought that dude was older.
Zooey Deschanel is 38. She's hot.
How does she look now?
Hot.
Still? I can't take your word. What am I asking you
She's
for?
hot.
I'll look her up.
By the way, I may have to rescind my opinion of Nancy Pelosi. I may have to. I don't
look at her yesterday, did you?
I may have to.
You got to look at her yesterday, didn't you?
I did, and I may. So that could be a major announcement coming soon.
Okay.
And Almost Cool Mom is 54 as well. Almost Cool Mom is 54.
I don't know who
today.
that is. Oh, it's
She's
one of those
a TikTok star.
Okay.
There's hope for you. I bring these up now so that you know that you are not officially
So
out
you're
of the
saying
TikTok scene.
at soon to be 40 years of age,
You could
be a
you're not
TikTok
gonna
star.
Be. You're almost 60. Almost. It's out there. It's your headline.
A free exchange of ideas. MoJo 50.
Democrats in the House are all aglow about something they've been waiting to do for years. Unfortunately, non-voting conservatives helped get them there. Let me explain. From the introduction of gun control legislation to a lack of interest in protecting the border, Democrats in Congress are all about continuing to break down the U.S. Constitution and the American way of life. And speaking of life, Democrats are now in a stronger position than ever to repeal a ban on federal funding for abortions. A Democrat representative from Colorado recently boasted during a press conference that, quote, "I believe that for the first time, maybe in our nation's history, we actually have a pro-choice majority in the U.S. House of Representatives." With Planned Parenthood's president in attendance, lawmakers who belong to the pro-choice caucus that defends abortion rights declared that they plan to pass the Each Woman Act. The act, if passed, would undo a long-standing ban on using federal funds for abortion. Since 1976, the Hyde Amendment prevents the use of federal dollars for abortions, except in the cases of rape, incest, or to save the life of the woman. As you may recall, during the Kavanaugh hearings, Democrats in Congress were especially concerned that Kavanaugh would overturn Roe v. Wade. It appears that they're now taking additional steps to ensure that the practice of abortions will continue. However, this time, they want the full funding of all abortions from federal taxpayer dollars. Representative Barbara Lee, a Democrat from California, declared a new era for reproductive rights and vowed to roll out the boldest pro-choice legislation in history. The only thing standing in the way of making Lee's dream come true is the GOP-controlled Senate and your future vote to take back the House. And that's today's Reality Check with Susan Knoll. sales.
Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American-made and serve those who serve us. Our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out neverforgottenapparel.com. Use promo code MATT, M-A-T-T, and get 15% off your purchase.
Hey there, Doc Thompson, Brad Staggs, and your Daily Mojo. So Brad teased Chris Hansen.
I did, and I didn't get arrested for it either.
Right, that's not to be confused with Jeremy Hansen.
Right, no,
Jeremy Hansen is a host here at MoJo 5.
Isn't he unleashed?
He is unleashed every day, 5 to 7.
And
5 to 7 Eastern time.
At night, we put the leash on him and we do things you really don't even want to think about.
Right, exactly. Yeah. That's 5 to 7, MoJo 5. This is Chris Hansen.
Right, yes.
Hansen, not to be confused. You may recall him from such television shows as To Catch a Predator. Some of you may remember him when he walked out and caught you while you were trying to diddle a kid.
I've been watching those lately. It is just, it's almost, I mean, it's creepy when these people do this. I'm still on the fence as to whether or not the offense is committed.
I think it's a bad idea.
But he plays with them like a cat and a mouse. I mean, he enjoys really batting them around and making them feel. I mean, and again, I'm not.
Well, Chris is in the news, but let's explore the To Catch a Predator for a while or for a moment. Let's talk about that. I hate the show. When it first came out, I, like everybody, was fascinated. I'm like, wow, look at this, and it's quite a spectacle. And I certainly don't agree with anybody breaking the law or raping children.
Exactly. No, I don't either. Do not condone it.
Horrible.
Yes.
But this is entrapment.
I think so too.
No, it really is. And there are people who likely would not have pursued this had the people not engaged them online. Now, you may, in your disgust, say, wow, they're still bad. And I get what you're saying. It's not that it's not disgusting. It's not it. But we have to temper our disgust over certain scenarios like this and try to apply the law and reason still.
Right.
Be disgusted, fine. You want stiff punishments for these people?
Yeah.
Fine. But let's apply it to the same as anything else that we consider illegal and remove your disgust for a moment. Your disgust because they're targeting children or young teens, whatever.
Right.
Fine. Does it make it better than the person who stalks an adult and rapes them?
In theory, because children are helpless. They are not wise to the ways of the world. They don't have the authority to make such decisions.
Let me give you 2 scenarios. Scenario like you often saw in To Catch a Predator, where a person, an adult, engages with somebody that's a teenager online, 12, 13, 14, well, 12 wouldn't be, but 13, 14, 15, whatever, online. And the person who is truly, unable to consent because they are in the minority, the age of minority, not majority, but is not forced. They like the idea. And there are some freaky kids out there.
Yes.
He shows up at the house, and he, not forcing them, engages in some sort of sexual activity. That's wrong. It's illegal. You're disgusted. Great. Is that much worse because it's a child than somebody who stalks somebody and rapes them? And the whole time they're like, stop, I don't know you. I don't want this. I don't.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a lot of different gray areas on this stuff. So disgust, yes. Wrong, yes. But let's apply it to everything else. Why do we have sexual offender registries?
So that you can,
because the rate of recidivism is very high, and we want to protect people. Right.
And it gives you the chance to find out if these people are living near you.
Because the rate of recidivism. Right. So you're saying we need to protect people because these predators with a high rate of recidivism, the repeat offenses, are living amongst us. Why as a society, if we know this, do we let them out of jail?
Right. Just make it a life sentence without possibility of parole if it's that dangerous.
So, so people that argue for sexual offender registries, you're saying this because of safety and security. Why wouldn't you just say keep them locked up?
Right.
Why do we do that?
That's a good question.
Make the punishment high enough. So I'm not saying go soft on these people. I'm saying let's have it make sense. Because I'm sorry, once you have served your time and you are deemed not a threat and you've been punished and everything else, let the people go. Do not make them wear the scarlet letter of sexual offender or felon, regardless of what the felon was. Introduce them back into society if they are capable of living in society, and be done with it. I understand even parole or probation, where you're saying, hey, you're doing great.
Right.
Let's give you a shot at this. We don't think you're an offender. If you think the person on parole or probation is likely to commit a heinous crime, don't offer them probation or parole.
A what crime?
Heinous.
Heinous. I just want to make sure that heinous. All right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes. It's...
We don't say to people we put on parole, we don't say, all right, Brad, Brad, are you likely to reoffend? You did this thing. Are you likely to do it?
Well, I might.
Okay, good enough for me. Here you go. Head on out that door. No, they're like, no, I'm reformed. Hey, let's talk to all the doctors. No, he's reformed, right?
Reformed. Yeah.
We don't say you're likely to do it and then let you go.
Right.
So let's stop this nonsense. If it's a bad enough crime and you think it's going to happen again, make the punishment more severe and keep them locked up. Otherwise, done. And as far as the entrapment thing, you got people out there that obviously want to engage in this.
Yes.
They're looking for this stuff online. If the cops, posing as the young person, didn't engage with them, they may never pursue actual interaction with anybody.
That's possible. Now,
Maybe they still have some inappropriate material on their computer, which is a problem.
Yes.
A different severity of the law versus going to actually having sex with somebody, right?
Yeah.
So,
and apparently the crime is committed when they exchange texts, sexually explicit text with these so-called underage kids online. That's the crime. That is one of the crimes. But
the extra crime is attempted sexual contact, whatever.
But there's no actual child involved.
Exactly. There's so many problems with this. I'm not saying they can't set up some stings and bust some people.
Right.
This is not the way to do it. And number two, how dare you do this on television?
Yeah.
But do you know why they do? Because we look at these people that they are arresting as subhuman, as less human, as so disgusting that it's okay if we put them on television.
Yeah. Why do you care about them? Why do you even give a crap about what they
because they are human beings still. Sin is sin, wrong is wrong, violations of the law are violations of the law. It's crime. Now, we do separate the severity of certain crimes, murder, rape, obviously sex with children, something like this, as different. But do they automatically set up stings like this for everybody else that is a felon or likely felon? No. Do they always put them on television the same way? No. Quite often the cameras are not allowed in the courtroom.
Right.
So why this? And not only do you set up cameras, you allow a television network to produce a television show around it?
Yeah. And it's an investigation. And technically, because it's news, I don't think they have to get signed releases from these people. So, regardless of whether or not they end up being found guilty or innocent, they're still on television, and that's it.
Now, remember, these people did not have sex.
No.
Necessarily. Maybe they have at other times, but
could have been. No, everybody I've seen in there says it's their first time.
Oh, well, then of course you got to believe them. Then they never do anything like this. No. Some of them likely have, and that's fine.
And they were only going to come there to hang out,
to protect them from other people who were there to rape them. Yeah, I brought 16 boxes of condom, 14 dildos, some heroin, some ecstasy, some bondage material, and I have my pants down with my phallus in my hand. But I was just going to protect them from other people.
We were going to watch The Lion King. I swear, that's all we were going to do. We're just going to hang out.
The circle of life. Of course they're lying, and of course you know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And some of them likely have done some of this stuff in the past. I'm saying we don't know, and some of them likely have made a mistake.
Yeah.
Obviously, they still are interested in this, and again, that's wrong, and you may find it reprehensible. But let's put it all into perspective. Even within all of the people that show up on the To Catch a Predator show, there are many different levels of people and offenses and the things they've done.
Some are just stupid.
None of these people, I would imagine, if, again, you gave them conscious thought upon their creation, God's like, all right, Brad, going to send you down. You're getting ready to be born, but here's what I like to do. For some reason, God sounds like Jeff Spicoli.
Today.
I'm going to send you down there. And I'm going to let you pick, though. I always let everybody pick what do they want out of life, okay?
Okay.
So here's what we got here. I'm going to give you a consciousness and see. You could be rich and famous, attractive. People will adore you. You'll save other people, whatever.
That sounds like it might be fun.
Or,
good. Yep.
Now, I don't want you to answer too quick.
Okay.
Because I got some other options like this.
All right.
You could be a creepy guy who lives in a trailer in a shady-ass part of town with his mom that is attracted to children. And then you will target them and then eventually get arrested on television and be the scourge of society, and everybody's going to hate you.
It's going to take me a minute.
Take your time. I understand it's a difficult decision.
I could be a philanthropist.
I also have serial killer.
Oh, man, now I'm just confused. Can I think about this for a while?
Sure. Let me go over to this guy, too.
I'm going to...
Nobody picks that.
I'm going to take pedophile, please.
Pedophile. Well, somebody's got to take it. Here we go. True, Notify Chris Hansen. Somebody else is on their way in about 18 years. Nobody picks this stuff.
No.
You, whoever you are listening right now, have your own freaky-deaky little things, the things that you find titillating and things that will stimulate you.
Especially that one jackhole that we've met before. And
by that, you mean all of them? Doesn't matter who you are.
Right.
What titillates you might be pretty tame and normal. I am a man. I enjoy sex with women. It's pretty basic missionary style. Hugs and kisses, movies, and out the door.
If you're into feet, you freak, whatever.
Maybe you're into feet.
Ugh.
Maybe you're into whatever.
Ugh.
Yes, what these people are into is a crime, and there's a reason we dictated, a crime. But they didn't choose. They have chosen their actions, which is wrong. So let's put it into perspective. Reel in that personal disgust. You can still be disgusted by it. Fine, that's your choice. But when applying the law, let's not let that disgust taint our decision on this stuff. You wouldn't tolerate this stuff if it were MSNBC or NBC or whoever it is producing a show based on other things.
Speeding.
No.
Should be you have to register as a serial speeder after, you know.
We have the show Cops in that. I get you.
Right.
I get you. So maybe they would tolerate some of that
live
stuff.
PD is entertaining.
Oh, maybe they would.
Live PD is fun.
Chris Hansen seemed to take particular joy, though. An extra joy out of it.
It was the cat and mouse, and some of them. One guy in particular, I was watching, and I thought, man, just shoot him in the head, because the guy knows he's over. He knows he's done, and Hansen just kept diddling with him.
Yeah. By the way, are people commenting that I'm soft on child rape now? Is that...
Not yet, strangely.
Okay.
It is the jackholes, after all.
I mean, that's the type of thing people like dog shit. That no, I didn't. I'm not endorsing the stuff. I'm not saying it's right.
Right.
I'm saying it's not all that different from people who say, I'm so disgusted by them queers, so let's make laws banning queerity.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Stop. Your disgust should not play into this. If you think something's wrong, fine. And then, is it morally wrong versus societal wrong? And should you base your laws on disgust, morality, or personal freedom? It has to be personal freedom, because your morality is somebody else's dirty rags. Your disgust is somebody else's joy. So how about we base it on the fact that children are victimized here because they cannot make choices for themselves, and therefore they cannot make the decision to engage in that activity.
Right. Yeah.
All right, to Chris Hansen now. You ready to go?
Yep.
Chris Hansen, the host of To Catch a Predator, was caught. The only thing that would have made it better is if he had been a predator.
Yeah.
Sexual predator.
Yes.
He may have been kind of a financial... monetary predator
he
here.
was a scumbag in this.
So he was charged with bouncing checks and failing to pay for $13,000 worth of marketing materials.
That's a lot of marketing materials.
What is marketing like? Could it be cameras? Could it be signs?
It actually listed it out. He bought 355 mugs, 288 T-shirts, and 650 vinyl decals from a mom and pop shop in Stamford, Connecticut.
So he buys this stuff, agrees to pay at the time of delivery, does not pay at the time of delivery, delays it by 3 months. The owner of the shop, the way I understand it, kept contacting him, and he kept blowing him off. He gave him a bunch of excuses. The excuses seemed believable if you were the guy. I mean, it's Chris Hansen, first of all. And right. It's $13,000. Yep. And he goes, oh, I thought I had enough money in my account. I mean, let me take care of some stuff. I'll get it to you tomorrow. You didn't take care of it tomorrow. Nope. Another time, my wife's going to bring you a check. She didn't bring him a check, right? All of this stuff. Yeah. Eventually, the guy files.
13 grand, I'm filing too.
It's theft.
Pretty much.
Right. You bounced a check and it's theft. The guy gave him a bunch of opportunities, and this played out over months. Years then. Yeah, because the guy still hasn't gotten his money, and wasn't this in 2017?
Yeah, 2017, and here we are 2 years later.
Okay.
So at the very minimum, a year and change.
Right. So finally, cops go and pick him up, and his mugshot is pretty damn funny.
I just put it on Facebook. I just tweeted it.
Hansen at one point apologized to the store owner, and he said, I can make partial payment. And the owner said, no, pay me everything. Now, as the owner of the company, or from the outside, if you look at the owner of the company, you're like, well, why didn't you just agree to take partial payment? I mean, he said he'd eventually bring the rest, but I can give you one payment now. I think at one point he offered to break it into 4 pieces. He said to the owner, I could pay you 4 payments over the next whatever. And he said, no, I want my money.
Yeah, he'd given him every chance to pay.
So while that may seem unreasonable,
he bounced the first check.
Then
he offered to make 4 partial payments, but the owner rejected that deal. He wanted his money. I mean, you got the stuff, pay the damn bill.
And it's not like the owner is just sitting on, stockpiles of money. He may need that.
Yes.
Yes, he's out that money. He has to pay whoever. Right. So, okay, it seemed like he's being unreasonable, but I don't think so. So Hansen sends him an email at one point, because many times he promised to pay the guy. And he wrote, Peter, I truly thought I had this covered.
Peter. Yeah, thought he had Peter covered.
I am scrambling to get it done. Please give me till the end of day. I sold a boat to cover the rest of this, and I need to pick up the payment this afternoon.
Poor Chris Hansen had to sell his boat.
Now, there's a couple things going on here. This afternoon. What time did he send this email? Odds are it wasn't 6 a.m.
Right.
And this afternoon, although ambiguous, at most, from the time of the email to when he would have picked up the check, would have been 6 hours, maybe
something like
7.
that.
Okay.
Yep.
Why didn't you just go pick up the check? What was going to happen if you didn't send the guy the email? It's going to file that day?
Good question.
Here's what you do. Here you go. Here's your check, buddy. I sold the boat today and picked it up just now. It's the afternoon. Yeah, I didn't send you an email. I just want to pick it up, but I'm dropping it off. Here you go. Oh, well, I just filed on you. Oh, well, it's no big deal because now you got your money. You could just take it. You can just unfile. You can just go and say, I got it, and it's done.
Right. Yeah,
so the email shows that Chris was full of crap.
Yes.
Okay. The second thing is he had to sell a boat. So what happened to the money from the boat? He said he sold it and he's picking up the check this afternoon.
Right. Yeah.
So he never showed up that afternoon.
No. He was just making excuses.
Okay. And
it was his first time he'd ever done that, though.
And of course, he's never done that.
Never done it. I mean, he's thought about it, but he would never do that.
He looks at scams online and stuff. But he'd never do something like that.
Do that.
I was holding the money because I didn't know if the guy was going to be responsible with it.
Yes. I was just going to make sure that he was going to spend it responsibly and wisely. I mean, you can't just give people money like that.
And you're going to sell a boat. Did Chris intend to never pay the guy? I wouldn't think that somebody in the media like this, and part of these promotional items were that he was going to launch another show, that he was going to fund himself or something. I remember that being a part of it.
He had another show, and I'm not sure. It's a Predator, Hansen versus Predator, that was on Crime Watch TV.
Yeah, maybe this is what that was, but it never took off.
And then there was something on CW.
I just know he was working on another show at the time, and I think that's what the promotional materials were for. But he was going to own this show, and it was he was going to make money, so to speak.
Probably Hansen versus Predator. Then.
Right. So I got to believe he wouldn't, unless he really thought he'd get away with it, even attempt to scam somebody out of money. You're just not going to get away with it. That seems unlikely. What seems likely is Chris don't have the money.
Probably.
So he thought the show would take off, and he'd easily be able to pay this $13,000.
Right.
Or he has just been that and or just been that bad with his money.
That's possible.
Now think for a moment how ridiculously sad this is. Chris was on an uber popular show, and I got to believe through that run as he did his contracts, what's the minimum he would have made, even if he started low by the time he got successful with this show? What's the minimum?
Millions. In the probably low single-digit millions.
Right.
At least.
He was at least making six figures, folks. I can, if you
told
me less than that.
Yeah. No, he was making.
I would say the over-under is 1.5.
Yeah. Even if it was around $800,000-$900,000, that's still,
and obviously he's in and around New York, so let's say Connecticut or whatever. That's like making half of that, let's say, anywhere else in America.
Yeah. To live in Manhattan, you have to make probably $700,000.
And maybe he lived in Connecticut and drove in or whatever, but yeah, you have to be there. So that would be like making half of that.
Right.
A third of that. So let's make his $900,000. This guy's still making $300,000 a year by most people's standards.
He had a mortgage.
That still meets my standard of rich. And that's if he wasn't making millions. And that's if his wife wasn't working. And that's if. So Chris Hansen, you're telling me at this point, is that off with his money?
He should have.
How crazy sad.
He did not obviously talk to Era Capital Management.
He needs to log on. Yeah. EraCapitalManagement.com.
Yeah. I mean, if he's in that dire straits, he's been doing it wrong, a lot. Some would say it may be karma. I don't know.
Could be.
I don't know. But yeah, I tweeted Saddle Tramp is MoJo filled with good grief, filled taint. He looks like he just sighed after giving his name during a collect call from the county.
You've got a call from Chris.
He really does. He should have smiled in the damn thing. He should have smiled.
If I'm the cops and I arrest him, I go like this. Come on in here. Have a seat. Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Have a seat. Have a seat.
You know what you did? I got some transcripts.
Got some transcripts right here. Your correspondence with the guy.
What do you mean by this? What do you mean by this? So you're selling a boat. A boat. What kind of boat was it? What was the? Where was it registered? Who'd you sell it to?
Wow.
James says there's a difference between a TV crew riding along with officers showing the world what their job is and busting people in sting operations, allowing society to convict them before they are legally guilty until.
There it is, James. There it is. It's the conviction. You know, this was one of the steps on our pathway to trying everything in the public arena now.
This is Black Mirror. That's why I tell you need to watch Black Mirror.
Stop referencing things I don't know.
You need
reference
to watch
only things I know.
Ron.
The one I watched last night had Bryce Dallas Howard in it.
Okay, and that was the one with the social media and all that.
That was crazy.
Isn't it nuts?
They're all crazy.
And another one was the guy who had to have sex with a pig.
That was the very first one. That one will get you hooked. It's weird.
He was a public official, and to save the life
he wasn't just a public official. He was the prime minister.
Yeah, prime minister.
Yeah.
To save the life of one of his constituents there, he was forced to have sex with a pig on national television, and they killed her anyway.
Blackberry.
Is that the taste?
I'm thinking this is blackberry. The adaptogens. I think it tastes like blackberry.
It is a very pleasant tasting.
Try it now.
It's you know what? To me, it tastes like a unique proprietary blend of adaptogenic herbs. That's the first I put it in my mouth.
Tell me it's not blackberry.
There's some blackberry in there.
Right.
It's sweet. It's definitely sweet.
Well, what is that flavor on the front side? It's like a blackberry, like a blackberry jelly or something. Have you tried the adaptogens? Take a hit of that and tell me.
Squirt that in your mouth.
Well, I'm not going to taint your decision.
Ouch.
Taint your view. What flavor, if you have to give a flavor on the front side? I'm not sure it's supposed to be any flavor. What flavor do you think it is?
There's like a berry and molasses.
You're going to need to get in there. A berry and molasses. Okay, molasses good. What berry do you think it is?
Cherry or blackberry?
See
You're
that?
right. Now, is that on the front side or the back side?
That's on the front side.
What are you getting on the back
side? On the back side, it gets more chocolatey, especially if you chase it with APR.
And we're, of course, talking about the adaptogens.
And you know Chef Patrick has a soft palate.
Oh,
a discerning, discriminating, sensitive soft palate.
And soft hands. He's an expert.
It's nothing compared to his frenulum, but anyway.
He is an expert, and his uvula,
nice.
It is moist.
Anyways, try the adaptogens today, not just for the good that it'll do you, but for the flavor.
Yeah. Go to therichsolution.com, click on supplements, and then scroll down to Rich Adapt, and you'll find out exactly why you need them and why.
Therichsolution.com. Now, ladies and gentlemen, some communiques via the social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, and MeWe.
Let's see here. Going down the list, I don't want to say that. All the way back to the Trump State of the Union, fundamentally as an existential kid, he says, thanks for the satisfying visual. That being the POTUS handing the Post-it notes off to the
wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
So dismissive to them because they're all about their power and position and such.
Yeah, here, take this Post-it. There's your State of the Union. MoJo Con.
How about as he does that, and Pence looks over at Congress like, "What up, bitches?" he gives the or Pence stands up and goes, "Oh no, he didn't,"
and drops a microphone. The only way Trump could make it better is to yank the microphone off the podium.
Or Pence goes over and does it for him.
Yes.
Then. Oh, boom.
Yes. They want to make headlines. That's how they could do it. MoJoCon 2019, Larky Farkin, I see your point, Doc. But
what?
This is supposed to deter people from reaching out to actual children and teens, and it's obviously not working anyway. That's true.
No, it's not.
There are some people on...
and I see your point. You're right. It can be a deterrent.
But it's not. There are a lot of guys that I was watching. Oh, yeah, I've seen the show. One guy had been hit by the sting. Yes.
Twice. He saw the show, was hit by it, and was hit by it again.
And goes back.
Yeah.
How stupid do you have to be?
Let's assume that it can be a deterrent. I think you're still treating the symptoms and not the disease. And I'm not sure it's still worth all of this tried in the public media and what we lose.
There was a story of a rabbi that was busted in, I think, 2005, spent 10 years in prison, then went back to, he resigned, of course. Then he was allowed in another, what's the Jewish church called? It's a
temple.
Temple, thank you. He was allowed into another temple to pray until they found out he was there, the congregation, so to speak, and they booted him out. And then he broke his parole and ended up back in prison. So after 15 years, if you haven't gotten over if you haven't been able to control your urges, I mean, everybody has, like you said, it's not about what your urges are, it's what your actions are.
And I'm not saying those urges are right.
But then again, the kinkiness of the internet, and there are some people who, hey, I want you to dress like a 14-year-old, and she's 20.
Doesn't mean they actually want them.
Right. How do they know?
Which is which? There's so many variables
the thought
here.
Police. It really is scary.
Will this problem solve itself primarily when we get into all the sex robots? You'll still have people that are whatever.
Because eventually sex robots will have rights.
Assuming they don't, would it still solve the problem?
No.
Will that just acerbate and people will want to have sex with? Will it embolden them to have sex with actual children? Then?
It could acerbate and exacerbate.
Will it be neither?
Well, what if you made a sex robot as a child?
That's what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, the robots are children. And then, are people going to be offended by that?
Oh, yes. People would be offended by that.
Even though it's a victimless crime.
Wow. Why do you
It's not even pictures.
Why do you hate sex robots?
If you see pictures of children online,
yes,
and you use those for your sexual gratification, you can still find a victim.
There's a victim in that.
The child who had the picture taken of them.
Unless, of course, you have used a digital program to create those images.
To create it, and then
what happens?
What about text fiction, stories of fiction?
It's a slippery slope.
Let's stop just jumping on the bandwagon of a black and white situation of To Catch a Predator and realize there's a lot more going on. And much like Cardi B, I don't have all the answers.
It's not what I do.
It's not what I do.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The Homeland Security Chief pushing back against Nancy Pelosi's suggestion that President Trump postpone his State of the Union speech Well, after the partial government shutdown is over.
DHS Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen says the Department of Homeland Security and the U.S. Secret Service are fully prepared to secure the State of the Union. Nielsen's tweet follows a letter from Pelosi citing security concerns during the government shutdown and asking the president to either postpone the address or submit it in writing.
That's Capitol Hill correspondent Wally Hines. During a visit to the Pentagon later today, President Trump will be taking the wraps off new space-based missile defense plans. 21-year-old Georgia man accused of plotting to attack several high-profile targets in Washington, including the White House, Asher Taheb, arrested yesterday in a federal sting operation.
This investigation and arrest were the direct result of a tip from the community. Another example of how important it is to contact law enforcement if you see or hear something suspicious.
Special Agent Chris Hacker with the FBI's Atlanta office. Almost 250 migrants, most of them from Central America, have turned themselves in at the Antelope Wells port of entry in New Mexico.
Out of those 247, at least 50 almost immediately did request medical attention. They were giving the medical attention that they needed.
Border Patrol Agent Fidel Vaca talking with KVIA TV. Both sides in the 4-day-old Los Angeles teachers' strike set to make another attempt at settling that dispute. They'll be sitting down for talks later today in the first negotiation since that walkout began in Los Angeles. On Wall Street this morning, stock futures pointing to a lower open. Right now, Dow futures are down about 70 points. S&P futures off 7. NASDAQ futures down 11 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
You know what makes you feel really good about yourself? Doing something good for somebody else. And if you'd like to do that today, go to jdrf.org. Join them in the fight against type 1 diabetes. jdrf.org. It's something good you can do for the world. jdrf.org.
Doc Thompson, MoJo 5-0.
Missouri cops claim that Amy Nicole Perino punched a man, then hit him with a belt when he would not orally stimulate her.
He was supposed to talk dirty to her?
No, he was supposed to perform a sexual act on her. Here's how it all went down. She got undressed and chased the man around the home before pushing him to the ground and sitting atop him.
First question, could he hear the stereo?
That's when she began to beat him up. He told the cops that when she was on top of him, he was briefly unable to breathe. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, he couldn't hear the stereo, could he?
She was charged with sexual abuse and domestic assault. I'll let you decide if she's the type you want to date.
Okay.
If she's
that's not a woman.
Brad? Are you going to take the beating?
Oh,
or
hell yes.
It's like Danny Trejo had sex with Yoda and the baby was raised by a water buffalo.
Say what you want to say about Cortez. She's not unattractive. Whoopi Goldberg, ugly as dirt. She one ugly woman. She ugly. Whoopi is jealous.
Making radio great again. The Cartel with Matt and Ron. This morning at 11. MoJo 5-0.
Dating today with all the crazies out there has to be nuts.
Yes, it really would. Wouldn't it be nice if there was a place you could go to find people who think like you do?
Like me? Like libertarians and conservatives?
Right?
There is. WeThePeople.dating.
Amazing. What a genius idea. This is a site that you can go to if you're single and you are looking for somebody who you know you're going to think the same way, as for, from a political freedom standpoint. If you want to date the right person for you, you'll find them in one place. WeThePeople.dating.
This is the MoJo 5-0 Institute for the Advanced Application of Freedom. Ya bitches.
The mothership has landed.
It's your Daily Mojo.
Dude's getting an attitude.
Right, I know.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if what we do makes sense. It's good or bad or the other, but I know I like it.
It's our version of the State of the Union speech is what it is.
We just got to get enough other people to like it as well. Yeah. That's where we're at.
Please
with this
tell
thing.
a few of your friends. Oh, and download the podcast if you don't already, and rate it and share it. And wherever you can get the word out, please do. Please.
Did you call Izzo last night?
No, I did not. He and I exchanged
pleasantries, panties,
pictures,
naked.
I mean, what we do in our off time is really no one's business.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
You should call him.
That's all I'm leaving. That's like I said. There's
call him up.
There's a plan.
Call him up. He's a good guy.
There's a plan. I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard that, and it's the.
Do not let the micro penis that you've talked about throw you off. He's a good guy.
Some people
just have it.
Wee Willie Winky.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
it's all right.
He didn't ask to have that.
No, he did not. He was not. No, God did not before.
He may have asked for other ones since.
Right.
But not to have one himself.
Right.
Maybe he did.
You can
Maybe
be
he's
rich,
happy with
famous, or have a micro penis.
Maybe he's proud of it, the same as whatever. And again, this is not me saying this. This is Brad Stagg saying this. So
no,
I'll point that out.
I think if you roll the tape back, you'll find out that it was in fact Thompson.
You're the one who brought it up the other day.
Did I?
You compared him to Hitler.
Or did I?
You said the only thing that he has in common with Hitler is the micro penis, nothing else. His views are very different.
Or is it? I'm just going to leave it right there.
Okay. Let's just move on. I don't know what to do. Just call him up, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, Dominic Izzo and the Rants of Izzo tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on MoJo50.com. I'm thinking first we get a couple communiques, then we bring in Chef Patrick, cover some other news stories today. How's that sound to you? Does that sound good, buddy?
I think that is a fabulous. Tech-Roo says they didn't kill her. They had already released her before he screwed the pig. See, that's
you
true.
keep telling me to watch this show, and then you're giving me all the spoiler alerts.
I didn't say what that was to.
Or all the spoilers.
I did not say what that was to. You have no idea what it was.
You mentioned the guy had to have a sex with a pig. Now I know that's the
one.
story.
That's a different one.
What show is that?
It's a different one. That's called White Sled. It's a completely different show.
Okay, well,
I don't want you to think that we were not discussing
for like hours. I'm going to do White Sled. White Sled. Where is this? Boop. No, I don't see it there.
Nope, it's on Amazon Hulu.
Amazon Hulu. Okay.
Yeah. It's a Prime Netflix.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Amazon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just search for it there and you'll find it. Fundamental. Oh, you have to have the special code. I'll give that to you later.
Okay.
Fundamentally existential kitty. Doc Thompson show is soft on child predators. All men should go soft at the thought of child predators. Thank you.
Not soft on them. Punish them. I'm even telling you to be more.
But
I'm telling you to be harder on them if you think they're going to do it again and keep them in prison.
Yeah.
Don't do the, we'll let them out, even though they could be a terrible danger to our children. None of this makes sense to me. There's no logic.
Oh, good. Salting Duck's back to his right mind.
Oh, okay. What did he do now?
Yeah, for God's sake, please make a new promo that doesn't involve story of oral stimulation of a hideously ugly woman. That isn't funny.
It's coming. It's coming. I was working on promos last night. I mean, our production department was working on promos last night.
Exactly. Yeah, the construction crew had to keep telling you to shut up.
I know.
I mean,
lots of work coming. Lots of work. Okay. All right, let's get to Chef Patrick Mosier. Yesterday, Chef Patrick and I on Spoonie.com, little shows there, we're talking about some of the... There's a new term out called jammy eggs. Have you ever had jammy eggs, Brad?
Oh, are you kidding? I mean, who hasn't?
J-A-M-Y, jammy eggs. You had the jammy eggs? What's that guy's name in there? Is he in there?
It's Ron.
Oh, he's not even in there.
So
Must be pooping.
Ron.
Jammy eggs.
Jammy eggs.
Do you know jammy eggs are?
Eggs you eat in your jammies.
Yeah.
No.
Of course they are.
$20, same as downtown. It is a type of egg. Go.
Yes. It is a type of egg. It's a form.
What do you think it would be based on the description?
With jelly in them. Jelly or jam.
No. Go again. Go. Come on, work it out. Let's go. Come on. Go.
Eggs that you wrap in pajama material.
No, go.
You strain them through soft flannel cloth.
It's a style of cooking that you are already aware of in eggs. They've just renamed it. Go. What is it?
You jam them into your mouth. You jam them into the blender.
A style of cooking.
You jam it up. Sous vide.
Go. No, that's close. That's good. Go.
Blender.
Go. No.
Vitamins.
No.
Instant pot.
I was thinking more like scrambled, but not scrambled. Go.
Poached.
No, go.
Over easy.
No, go.
Under easy.
No, go.
Under a man.
No.
Under a woman.
No.
In a woman.
The only one you haven't named, soft boiled.
No one likes those. Soft boiled.
They've become a thing again. Soft boiled eggs.
Soft boiled?
Yes. But you can't just call them soft boiled. You got to come up with a new name in today's world of jammy eggs.
Jammy eggs.
Jammy eggs. Makes me kind of jelly.
See what you did
know
there?
What that is?
Jealous.
Yes, and the jammy eggs.
Thank you.
So, jammy eggs, yeah, they're just... And describe what a properly soft-cooked egg looks like.
Well...
Wow, that sounded
soft-boiled.
The white is fully cooked. No longer opaque.
What about the black? What's that done?
No. But the yolk.
Oh, the yellow.
The yolk. Yes. We're getting... The darker part comes later. The yolk is... No, the yolk. In the middle of the yolk, so the outside of the yolk should be almost the normal yellow of a hard-boiled egg, like this bell here, the wrong bell. Thank you.
That bell.
But the middle of it is kind of jiggly still, almost cooked, not
Has
quite
that
cooked. A little
kind of
bit
translucent look to it.
Yeah.
There.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
a little darker still, the
Yeah.
color of the yolk before you cook it.
Jiggles around.
That's it. It's
I like
jammy. I don't know where the hell that came from.
Jammy.
Jammy.
You could eat them in your jammies.
I don't think that has to do with it.
It might.
Yeah.
Can you
Could be.
prove that it doesn't?
You don't eat scrambled in your jammies?
I could only afford that one time.
You can't eat jammies with your full suit and tux and. All right, I don't know, but just be aware of jammy eggs. So it's making their round, and it's crazy on Instagram now. Chip Patrick and I were talking yesterday about some of the other poached eggs. You know what a poached egg is?
Yes.
Name it. Go. Describe.
It's an illegally shot egg.
No, no. Poached egg is.
It is cooked, not boiled. It is cooked in water that is just to the point of almost simmering. Called shimmering.
I was going to say.
Yep. So you take the egg, you crack it into the water, but the trick is to swirl the water a little it has vinegar in it, and that keeps all the egg white together with the egg yolk. And just before the egg yolk starts to cook, you take it out and you serve it on whatever.
Now, Brad has a question about
Or
that
smear it on
process,
your body,
and I know
just
you were
depends.
thinking of a question. What was your
can
question?
I add salt to that?
You can, but you don't need to.
Okay.
Was there any other question when
No,
you talked
that's
about
pretty
swirling the egg?
No, I was just picturing some other things in my mind.
Okay, gotcha. I just wondered if he was going to ask which way do you swirl.
We're in North America. We all know that you swirl clockwise.
Okay, sorry about that then. Anyway,
idiot.
So we were talking about this laid out, and yesterday we said one of the big things that people are using jammy eggs for, and even poached eggs, is with these energy breakfast bowls, these real healthy bowls where you use quinoa or something like that, and you put some greens in
like
it.
quinoa?
It's very similar. It's like a cousin.
Quino. It's quino.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Where you put some greens in it, and then sometimes you'll have other protein, but a lot of times they'll put jammy eggs on top. They'll slice them, or a poached egg. So when you cut into it, the yolk,
All
goes
that
down.
yummy
there.
The yolk's
goodness.
on you.
Yeah. Or on your breakfast.
Right. Yeah.
How does that sound to you right now?
It sounds good. Not as good as avocado toast, but good.
A lot of times they'll put avocados on this.
I liked avocado toast.
Or you put the egg on the avocado toast.
See? You could put the jammy egg on that.
Wow. See, now you're getting into uncharted territory for me.
But we threw this out. Imagine you got that, and a lot of people have had quinoa bowls with the greens in it or whatever, and they're very good. A lot of places do it well. What if you had that, but you replaced the quinoa with MoJo wild rice?
See, and that's the beauty of it.
And
it would be fabulous.
Chef Patrick kind of did that when he had the Power Bowls on Black Friday. Where he had kind of stuff, and man, he made up some good ones.
Well, actually, we did. We had one. The savory one had
Yeah.
bacon. And we had a fried egg, and we had that was pretty much bacon, fried egg, and some cheese on there.
And the nice thing is, if you got the egg and the yolk is runny at all, it just kind of mixes up there and gives you a natural sauce.
It's a binder.
essentially.
It's a binder.
It's a binder. And
It's look. Well, I mean, we all know that the MoJo wild rice is actually an aquatic grass. So
it is.
Yeah.
An aquatic grass.
Grass. Yeah. I mean, you knew that.
Like, can you give anything else that would be an aquatic grass that we'd understand?
Reeds,
bamboo. It's not an aquatic grass, but it's the same family. Wheat,
okay.
barley.
Very good. Yeah. It's grown in the north woods of Minnesota and other parts up that part of the country or whatever. If you're from that area, it's a
Bent
staple.
over and beaten.
That's how they harvest it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's part of the harvesting process.
Bend
And
it
they do
over and
by
beat
hand.
it.
Yeah, you get in a canoe and you bend it over with one paddle and beat it with the other.
Yeah. Yep. And then eat it.
An
Bend it,
arduous
beat it, and eat
process.
it.
An arduous process.
Go to mojowildrice.com. Look for it today. Try some of these power bowls. Try some of the other things they make with the wild rice. It's naturally gluten-free. It's healthy for you. It's naturally cholesterol-free. It's almost a complete protein, trace minerals and vitamins. You're going to love it. Plus, you got all the other things made from it as well. The waffle mixes and the soups and stuff.
The Washington Monument was actually made from MoJo wild rice.
I don't think so, but
Yeah. That's a little known fact.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Even though it was beaten?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what actually adds strength to it. I mean, you don't know what you can take until you're beaten.
Also look for the jellies and the jams and syrups, all available at mojowildrice.com. What do you got for us today, Chef Patrick?
Saturday is National Popcorn Day.
You know,
who doesn't like popcorn?
I used to love popcorn, and
Okay.
now it gets stuck in my teeth. Those damn little those husks.
Well, when you go dentures, that's a...
I know it gets stuck up underneath there, and it starts hurting after a while. But at the movies, the butter with the popcorn,
it's the best. It's not butter, but it's okay.
matter.
Some people think it's butter. It's not
butter.
butter.
Do you have a favorite type of popcorn? Seasoned, caramel popcorn, kettle corn.
I like corn that's popped. That's how I like it done.
Oh yeah, that's a good
I hadn't thought about
No,
that.
here's what's really funny about that. I love kettle corn. You go to the fairs and stuff?
Yes.
Oh, you get that big tube of it.
If they could come out with like huskless kettle corn,
True, I'll give you that. But I'm still there. But here's the funny thing. As much as I love kettle corn, I really don't like caramel corn. I don't like caramel flavor in it that much. Cracker Jacks, other caramel corn.
Which is interesting because that's really...
And I love caramel.
It's the salty sweet thing.
It is, but the caramel is like, I don't enjoy that flavor
So like if you make it at home,
as much.
Like if you pop popcorn at home and you make like a caramel sauce in the pan and you drizzle it over, you don't like that?
Not as much. And I love caramel. Just together, I'd rather have it just done as kind of a kettle corn, or even some of the other flavors if it's savory.
Have you had the one? They have one that's kind of gone ballistic. Well, it's become really popular. It's called Hurricane Popcorn from Hawaii. It's spicy. It's got all sorts of stuff mixed into it. It's got like the Japanese condiments, the
That's not what it's called, though, is it?
Yeah, it's called Hurricane Popcorn.
You sure it's not Typhoon Popcorn?
I'm pretty sure it's Hurricane Popcorn.
Down the street at Fuel City.
No, in the Pacific, it's Typhoons. I think they're wrong on this.
It might be. But at Fuel City, it's called something different because I've had it. It's hot. It's a hot, spicy popcorn.
Well, this one, this is not just hot and spicy. It has basically these Asian kind of condiments you would put on your rice. Like there's one called furikake. Yes,
Excuse me?
Yep, that's right, furikake. Yeah, dated her once in high school. But it's something that you sprinkle on your rice. It's got the shredded nori, the seaweed, and it's got sesame seeds and orange rind and Japanese chili spice. So that's sprinkled on there. It's got a bunch of other ingredients. It's delicious, but the key is not to use the round popcorn, which is called mushroom popcorn, that you use for kettle corn. You use the old style. It's called snowflake, by the way. That's the old style that just kind of pops, kind of all nilly-willy, all different directions. They're not all uniform. There are two.
Oh, yeah,
types of
I
popcorn
never
today.
thought about that, but you're right there. If you think about kettle corn, ends up being round, and then like Jiffy, whatever, any kind of popcorn you get at home,
old style popcorn. Yeah,
yeah,
basically.
it looks
even
it's like a
Oral
mushroom.
Red Bockers. Yeah,
I never thought about that.
Yeah, there's a picture.
But
Right
it's
there.
true.
See? There's
Yeah,
mushroom popcorn.
they're two different shapes.
snowflake.
You have never.
Doc's like, you're all thinking too much about popcorn.
No, he's not.
It's right there, brother.
Oh, he's not.
You're right, Brad. There's two different types of popcorn. Okay, all
There
right.
are
It
two.
pops differently. It pops to a different shape.
There's actually a third.
Okay, all right.
That looks like the Jefferson Monument.
Okay, all right.
But strangely,
no. Anyway, so it's basically popcorn. Oh, butter, garlic. Oh, chopped garlic on popcorn is unbelievable.
Ooh,
fresh chopped garlic. Soy sauce, the nori furikake I talked to you about, and then
The what?
Japanese rice crackers.
Nori furikake.
Okay.
Yep, Japanese rice crackers broken up. You know, not like rice cakes. Those little flat wafers that really they kind of taste.
wafer thin.
They're really shiny when you get them in the Japanese snack mixes.
Mm.
Those things.
Oh, yeah, I know what
Broken
you're
up in
talking
there.
about. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're slippery. They're
Yeah.
slick.
Yep, those things.
Yeah. What are they called?
They're Japanese rice crackers. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like
You
them.
can get a lot of those things if you go to the Asian markets or whatever. They have a bunch of the cool stuff like that.
There's too much crime at those things. I can't.
I understand.
They don't like.
So anyway, that's my favorite preparation for popcorn. And the day's coming up. I thought, we eat like 15 billion quarts of popcorn a year in this country. Why not make it?
What day is that?
Saturday.
We're not here on Saturday. Where is it today?
I know. Well, I guess I'll have to go make
You
some
can do it
more.
Monday. We got tomorrow
Oh.
still. You got time. You can do it tomorrow.
I can't.
We
You
can
know what?
we
I
can
wonder
do
if I
it
could do that.
You
Can
can
I
do
do
it
an
this
electric skillet?
What are you asking us for? You're the expert.
I got to try that. I don't know. I've never
Are you
tried
asking
it.
our permission? Yes, you can.
Okay, thank you.
can do
Thank
that.
you, sir. May I have another.
You can cook fillets. You can cook a whole meal for us in
There's a
electric
crock
skillet.
pot here.
There is.
Could use a crock. I wonder if you could make popcorn in a instant pot. Can you do that?
I don't. Well, yeah. If you put it on saute, I'll bet you could.
That'd be kind of
Just
fun.
keep the
You can
lid
make
on,
it-
baby.
You can make it in the
lid on.
microwave.
Yeah.
Right.
In
So
a
why
paper
couldn't you do
bag.
it on an instant pot?
No, I'm saying, why wouldn't you just make it in the microwave?
Because
That's
it's
no
an
fun.
instant pot.
It's funny. I would be willing to bet that most people in America have no idea you can just make regular popcorn in the microwave. They only think of microwave pop, like microwave popcorn that's put in the
Jiffy
packs.
Pop. Jiffy Pop still exists.
Yes, you can buy it. Yeah, it came back.
Yeah, I mean, originally when microwaves came out, people popped in the microwave. The only problem with it was it went all over the place in there.
Yeah.
So what they would do is they would just get a brown paper bag and you pop popcorn in there and you're good to go. And it keeps it all together.
Then you pour the butter and you shake it up and then you pour it in the bowl.
Yeah, that's what they would do. And then some wise capitalists said, we'll make official microwave popcorn and put the stuff in there and you're good to go. But a lot of that stuff that you purchase, the official microwave popcorn isn't real good for you. It's got a bunch of chemicals and stuff. So if you just get good popcorn, make it yourself, you can make it really healthy and it's pretty easy for you.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, there you have it.
Now, let me caution the audience. Do not try this with a plastic bag because those kernels get really hot. I learned this when I was about 12.
That can be a problem.
Well, I didn't have a brown paper bag, and I knew you could put plastic in the microwave. Who cares?
Makes sense.
I had a pile of melted plastic and popcorn. Some kernels popped, some unpopped, and that was not a fun cleanup. And smelled, too.
Yeah,
so.
it's going to smell for days.
Yeah.
Looked like something off the movie set of The Thing.
Leprechaun said seasoned salt or lemon pepper is good on popcorn. Parmesan cheese, too.
Ooh, Parmesan. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
It is good.
Truffle salt.
Truffle salt. Oh, yeah.
Truffle salt,
That would be good.
Not truffles. All right, so we all have a cough. I've been coughing for weeks. The cedar's out. Did you see the new study out of England?
No.
Chocolate is better for your cough than cough syrup, they say.
Really?
Yep.
What kind of chocolate? Does it say?
It's actually a
Does
chocolate.
it matter?
It's a chocolate-based syrup, right? But it had none of the ingredients that they typically put in cough syrup. It was just chocolate and then whatever the binder was. That was it.
So if I just go and suck on a tube of Hershey's chocolate syrup, I'm good to go?
You're kind of used to that.
Perhaps. Is there any chocolate in Hershey's chocolate syrup, or is it
I don't know.
chocolate flavored?
So it has to be chocolate? Chocolate, not chocolate
Well, I'm
flavored?
going to go buy some chocolate at lunch, and we'll find out. I'll buy a nice chocolate bar. See if that works. But apparently it has very good anti-inflammatory properties, and it helps the pathways relax. So it's apparently works better. It's more natural. No side effects.
It doesn't
of the
hurt as
medication.
much if you just relax.
Hi, I'm Chocolate. I'm going to help your pathways relax. I understand you got a cough.
Could I get some Advil in here, please?
Let me bend you over and beat you.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, I'm White Chocolate.
So it's
I'm not going to help you with your cough, but I'll still relax your pathways.
Jeez, it's National Bootleggers Day. Is anybody out there with some bootleg whiskey they could bring in?
Bootleggers or liquors?
Bootleggers.
Oh.
Leggers,
Why the hell are we drinking to that? We do
because yesterday was trouble.
Yeah.
Boy, was it.
Yeah, and coincidentally, it is a National Rum Butter Sauce Day.
Oh, rum butter. What do you put that on?
Rum butter.
Man. Oh, are you kidding?
I barely knew her.
No, you got to put that on bread pudding.
Okay, that's what that's the only application.
Yeah, or you could, you could just take a really nice dense yellow cake or anything that's like any kind of bundt cake.
Though.
Yeah,
yes.
really stupid.
Yeah,
really stupid.
Well, it doesn't work on angel food cake, right?
All right, I'm going to go ahead and say this. I'm going to go ahead and say this, and this is something I've wanted to say for a long time, and I don't care if it offends people. If you're offended by this, I just don't care. I'm going to speak the truth, and I don't care. Angel food cake sucks. So just move on.
No.
It sucks.
No. If you dunk it in chocolate, like at a fondue party,
it's still not.
Does anybody have fondue parties anymore?
They should.
No, but they should.
It's still not good.
It is if you dunk it in chocolate.
No, it's still not good.
I don't know. Are you talking about the store-bought or like homemade stuff?
Homemade, any of it. It's not good. It's pointless. It's like chewing air. What is... Let me ask you. So you like the... Would you rather have that or a bunch of caramel M&Ms?
Okay, I'd rather have the caramel M&Ms.
Done. Sorry. I didn't even get into like really good desserts. That's just something pretty simple.
Not...
That or chocolate ice cream.
You don't... If you had angel food cake as a dessert after dinner, that is not bad.
It's horrible. It's just not. It's pointless. It's pointless.
I have to do the chocolate ice cream test with that one. I have to try the chocolate ice cream.
That's what I'm saying.
And then try that. And if it's not better than chocolate ice cream, why would you make it?
That's my point. I mean, listen, is it like being, hit in the back of the head with a steel pipe? No, but it's pointless. You're like, oh, it's angel food cake. Okay. Hey, they're bringing out dessert.
Angel food cake
angel
or
food.
Pipe on the back of the head.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's good with other stuff on it.
I don't even know
strawberry
you anymore.
shortcake.
I don't even know you.
Oh, come on, Doc.
It's not good with strawberry shortcake.
I don't like strawberry shortcake.
Wait.
Now there's something seriously wrong here. Wait.
I don't.
Take the glasses off for this
I mean,
one.
it's all right.
Really?
I just don't.
Wait a minute. Wait, do you like strawberries?
Again, I must feel the same way about that as you do about angel.
No, wait a minute. Are you talking angel food type strawberry shortcake?
No, just strawberry shortcake. Strawberry shortcake.
Now, those little store-bought puck things do not qualify.
Are you talking yellow cake strawberry shortcake?
Real cake.
Maybe I just haven't had a really good strawberry shortcake.
Allow me to make you. If I have time this weekend, I'm going to make you a little strawberry shortcake.
What do you use as the base? What's the cake?
Oh, like a Bisquick cakey, like
do
a
I have to
biscuit
wear
type.
pants to this? Or?
I usually use like a Bisquick or Jiffy, the same brand, but it's like Bisquick, basically.
I like pound cake, and you toast the pound cake in butter in the pan, then you put the stuff on top.
You're wrong.
We're still talking
That's
about
not strawberry shortcake because it's got to be shortcake.
It's pretty short. It's got a lot of butter.
No,
it's got a lot of butter.
No, if you're using pound cake, you must use peaches.
What?
Ooh.
That's not peach shortcake?
Well, no, it's not. It's not shortcake
at all.
is
it then?
It's pound cake with peaches.
Well,
That's
isn't there a name
Southern
for it?
soul food. Pound cake
with peaches.
With peaches.
That's a stupid name.
It's what it is, isn't
like
it?
Bananas Foster. It kind of sounds mysterious.
What do they lead with?
Bananas.
Done.
What do you lead with the other one? Peaches.
Okay.
I can't argue with that.
Okay, it's Peaches Pound Cake Thompson. Okay, is that better?
Peaches.
You want to give Foster all this damn credit?
How about Pound the Peaches? Pounding peaches.
Now he's being ridiculous.
No,
okay.
it has to have
shortcake
a catchy
has
name.
to have shortcake, and I'm guessing most people haven't had good strawberry shortcake. They get all this. My wife would go to the store and get these like pre-made desserts that were strawberry shortcake-esque. And I'm like, what are you eating that stuff for? Well, I like it. I've never had it. So I made her strawberry shortcake. She goes, oh my gosh, that other stuff wasn't. I go,
what is
yes.
Tell me what a shortcake is. What is a shortcake?
A shortcake has to have a significant amount of shortening in it.
Okay, that's correct. Yes, just like shortbread.
But that has butter. Pound cake usually has butter. Shortcake usually has shortening.
Shoot.
So I use it's got to be a biscuit type thing. It's a cakey, like pretty. I usually use Bisquick. And I think they even have recipes on the back for it or whatever.
But if you're using Bisquick, that's not. If you're using Bisquick, that's not cakey. That's more like a biscuit.
It is.
That's like a biscuit.
It's like fluffy.
No,
like
it is.
a biscuit.
No. It's cakey inside. It's not. It's not made like a biscuit. It doesn't get latery like that.
Then why is it called? Why is it a biscuit then? Why are you using Bisquick to make it?
Quick.
But Larry biscuits are really hard to actually do yourself. You can only buy those.
But it does not. It does not have that. It is not like a biscuit. It is a cake inside. It's
what are those little biscuits that are like flaky?
Those are biscuits. Those are biscuits.
They have the layers, like the buttery layers on them.
Flaky biscuits.
If you put
Brad's knowledge is the stuff that comes from the can.
They do come from a can. They do come from a can.
Nothing wrong with
that. A paper
that.
can, but that's okay.
I get all my bakery from the can.
And it's good. That's right.
No, if I have time this weekend, I'm going to make some.
Okay.
Bring it in.
All right.
Good to go.
All right.
Sounds good.
Works for me.
Oh, you're off sugar.
That's okay.
I'll make an exception.
Okay.
I'll make an exception.
Can I get good strawberries? Usually not that.
Should I? I'll hunt for the strawberries for Monday. You make the shortcake.
All right.
We won't be here Monday.
Tuesday.
We won't be here Tuesday.
Oh yeah, we also have
following week.
We're out.
I forgot.
We're at SHOT Show, which, by the way, programming note, SHOT Show all next week, except for Monday when it will be a.
We'll be on hiatus on Monday. Sorry
about that. It'll be a best of. No, it'll be a collection of best of.
It's a travel day.
They can go to Spoonie and listen to me. That's okay.
There you go.
There you go. Mm-hmm. So we'll be on hiatus that day. Sorry, but we all have the best of. So
I'll be out at the end of the week too.
End of next week or this week?
And next week.
Okay. Because this is the end of this week, unless you're listening to the podcast
all right,
on Monday.
let's just move on.
And it's Thursday.
Next.
All right, so we'll get all that done. Now, if you're somebody that loves the strawberry shortcake and you're battling, like, I just can't say no to it because it's Doc style and it's really good, unlike the other stuff these knuckleheads have mentioned. If you actually have good strawberry shortcake around, it's difficult to ignore it, to deny yourself that wonderful dessert. Wonderful. But you still can if you're using the Riduzone. Try the Riduzone today. It's in that box right over there. Riduzone at riduzone.com is going to help you lose weight. It will. Bottom line, it works. Riduzone.com. And here's how it helps you lose weight. Brad Staggs, how does it help?
Well, but twofold. It, number one, makes you feel full faster so you don't end up sport eating, which can be a big problem when you're dieting, because as soon as you tell yourself you can't have food, what do you want most?
Food.
I was going to say sex, but yes, food.
Bad food.
Yes, and usually it's the bad food. And number two, it can actually help speed up your metabolism with the that little bitty molecule.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Try it today. It's Riduzone.com. That's Riduzone.com.
Let's see. What is everyone saying over here? Well, shoot, we're out of time, and that was such a good... That was a good tweet.
You got 15 seconds.
What y'all can't broadcast live from the SHOT Show? We will be broadcasting live from the SHOT Show.
It's a travel day.
You can't walk around streaming Periscope or Facebook Live. We will be doing all that.
We will. It's just on Monday.
James.
We got to get there, and we couldn't travel over the weekend.
Getting lazy, of course. We've always been lazy.
By the Numbers with Andrew Coppins is powered by TarRiverArms.com. They've revolutionized online firearm sales with high-resolution pictures, 3D imaging, and the best prices. How much will you save? Find out at TarRiverArms.com. That's TarRiverArms.com.
Just last week here on By the Numbers, we took a look into Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's proposal for a 70% top marginal tax rate. And lest you forget what AOC has actually said on this issue.
But once you get to like the tippy tops, on your $10 millionth dollar, sometimes you see tax rates as high as 60 or 70%. That doesn't mean all $10 million are taxed at an extremely high rate, but it means that as you climb up this ladder, you should be contributing more.
Never mind all the numbers and facts and figures that disprove her theory, as we laid out last week. The real question is, what do the American people in general think about this idea? Well, you and I may be in the minority when it comes to what AOC and her ilk are proposing. That's because of this number, 59%. A new The Hill Harris X poll found 59% of eligible voters would support AOC's top tax rate of 70%. And before you go questioning the poll's validity, this one checks out as a very well put together survey. The breakdown of the overall numbers is also surprising. Of course Democrats favor this idea, but it was by a wide 71-29 margin. However, this number may surprise you most, 45%, which is the percentage of Republicans in the survey that support a 70% top tax rate. Independents supported 60-40. And if you needed further proof of the economic fight that's on our hands, this survey provides all the ammo you should need. It also appears that facts and figures aren't enough to win this fight, because the numbers from this poll suggest we're not winning even within our supposed own ranks. What can win this fight? Emotion with facts. For far too long, we've only been about the numbers. Perhaps it's time to put faces to the upward mobility that better tax policy has provided. This has been By the Numbers. I'm Andrew Coppins. You can follow me on Twitter at The Coppins Show.
Communiques now.
I want to know what Larky Farkin's talking about here. Larky Farkin says, keep your eye out for a special treat I had sent to you guys. You might hate me for it, but Doc will love it.
Might hate me for it, but Doc will love it. Well, we can just keep our eye out.
Oh, we could just keep looking for it, too.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you in advance.
Maybe. I don't know. MCDMXDM, you can't broadcast from the airport. What about on the airplane? We can do both. We can do it any damn where we want to. And Free Range Prisoner, thanks for bringing this up. A best of show out of what? I must be listening to the wrong channel. Obviously you are. It's the least offensive of.
It's the best of us, which is still a pretty low standard. We got it.
And now a special broadcast, the least offensive of the Morning Mojo.
Mm-hmm. The least sucky stuff.
Yeah. Boy, that'd be a hard one to.
It's pretty much just a rerun.
Yeah, it really would be. And Salting Doc is going to name his next child Peaches Pound Cake Thompson. That's not a bad
Only
name.
if it's a daughter.
Peaches.
Only if it's a daughter.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that for a boy?
Thank God I don't have daughters. Thank God I do not have daughters. Seriously.
Oh, yes, it would be. It would be a nightmare. A nightmare.
Wow.
A complete nightmare.
I'm guessing that my gratitude for not having daughters and instead having sons will just grow. I think it's probably going to be even more significant in a couple of years. My oldest son is 16 and a half, just no issues with stuff like that, just normal. Hey, ups and downs of teen life, just basic stuff.
However, you did bring him into a world now which is not, well, shall we say, receptive of the male gender.
He's Gen Z, though. He's figured some things out. He does not care.
Then he may be helping push the pendulum the other way.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be great.
Fundamentally existential kitty. I love plain microwave popcorn with olive oil and nutritional yeast. Ugh. It's better than it sounds, she says.
What?
That sounds nasty. And I like to dip mine in gutter water.
You like to what yours? Did you say dick yours in gutter water?
I meant dip. That's what I meant.
Okay, first of all, we're now dipping, but what are we dipping?
Popcorn.
I like to dip mine in chocolate.
Well, that's pretty good, too.
Okay, wait a minute. Back to the nutritional yeast.
Uh-huh.
What is that? Is that just like yeast for bread versus what's under your arm when you don't clean?
I don't think it's under your arm. I don't think you don't get yeast infections under your. That's not where you get them.
I was just using that to be less graphic. Mm-hmm. So nutritional. Brad, I made you some popcorn. You want some? You want some? You love popcorn.
I love popcorn.
You know what I topped on it?
What? Did you put Parmesan cheese on it?
Yeast. They put yeast.
Yeah, I'm going to pass.
It's special yeast.
Well, they make that beer.
Stop it.
They do.
There's some freaky ass broads, feminazis out there who made bread.
Oh.
It was so horrible I couldn't even do the story on the air. Not kidding. They did that.
Pretty nasty.
You are a vile human. You know what that is? That is truly the Sodom and Gomorrah days.
It's
when you are that you know what? You're not even bat crap crazy. You're bat shit crazy.
Wrong hole.
No, seriously. You are so extreme. You hate yourself, your gender. You're so progressive. You hate your maker so much that you bake bread as some sort of statement with your own yeast. This is like the women who are proudly displaying their periods.
Is it not?
You have gone to the Sodom and Gomorrah crazy days. Am I right? I mean, we can even argue he likes feet. Okay, certain people like certain things. You know what I mean? But what's his name?
Ron, that's Ron.
And do you agree with that or not?
Absolutely.
Isn't that the line where you're just like, okay, now you're freaks?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Nasty.
Why is it not a survival technique? Think about it.
Really?
Think about it.
You can drink your own pee, too, but you don't publish it.
Technically, you're not supposed to.
Okay, she didn't do this because she was in the woods and all she had was flour and needs some leavening agent. By the way, in that case, you just eat the flour. And by the way, before you start baking bread with your own yeast, you eat bark and stones and dirt, your own hair.
Spiders.
You drink your own urine. You eat when everything else ceases to exist, you still don't bake your own bread. That's just...
Besides, baking your own bread has to be a euphemism for something. What is it? Wow. Attack Yuki's talking.
Wait, I do like the yeast flavor, like yeast biscuits and rolls.
What is
yeast
rolls?
Yeast
has a flavor?
Yeah. Some rolls, I can't even describe
like yeast rolls.
Yeah.
You get it.
That sweet little...
Is it Shoney's that puts out the yeast rolls, or is that Cracker Barrel?
You're right. One of those do, but they're like rounded on top. Yeah,
they're fluffy.
Okay. The Bob Evans does too. You ever go to Bob Evans?
Yeah. Used to love the Bob Evans. Haven't been in a while.
You can get biscuits, or you can get the rolls order. Right. Their rolls have that yeast flavor. It's kind of sweet, but it's not really
sugar.
No. It's not that type of sweet. It has like the flavor is kind of in that vein.
So have you ever had this woman's bread?
I have not.
Then how do you know it doesn't taste like a Bob Evans yeast roll?
I don't want it then because I know where it came from and it's disgusting.
So if you didn't know where it came from, you'd eat it.
Well, if you just told me it's bread, of course I'm going to eat it's bread. Bread's yummy.
So I just don't think you should discount things
That's
out of hand.
ridiculous. That's like saying if I told you, here, have a slice of this pizza, and you found out it was made out of a dog turd, you were still going to try the pizza. You didn't know.
Right. And then if you liked it, you discovered you enjoyed dog turd pizza.
Is actually pretty good. It's, it's not as bad as it sounds.
Especially.
So the yeast, I got to know, is that what it is?
I guess. I don't know.
And do you just sprinkle a little bit of the little packet of yeast you get in the baking aisle? What is that? Red Star, Single Star, Gold Star? What is the
gold? Yeah, Gold Star. Gold Bond.
No, that's the medicated powder.
No,
just the little package,
No wonder my biscuits have tasted like that.
But the good news is no bacteria in my esophagus. It's cleaned right out, and I don't have any chafing anymore. Even on a hot day.
My tongue never chafes. It's amazing.
Even on a hot, sweaty day when I've been out golfing.
Right here. Smell my tongue. Where the hell? No, I lost it. Damn it. What was it? The
Attack Yuki.
Where did they go? Oh, here it is. Angel Food Cupcake Wine. He says, well, F you up. That's vodka masquerading as wine. Angel Food Cupcake Wine. May have to find some of that.
By the way, the other day we were talking about something, and I realized you should something else you should try because you were arguing in favor of something. You need to try Loch Ness Monster Cake. Loch Ness Monster Cake.
What's that?
It's in the same family of unicorn cake.
Oh, okay.
Area 51 cake. That's yummy too.
See, now you're just
Bigfoot cake.
Had big.
Yeah, that's really good. It's
chocolatey.
Grassy knoll cake. Yeah, it's all good.
Are you suggesting that there wasn't someone on the grassy knoll?
I'm suggesting there's no unicorns and therefore no unicorn cake.
Just because you've never seen one does not mean they don't exist.
I've got an update for you. Speaking of food.
Mm-hmm. Yep. What?
McDonald's Gate, Burger Gate, Clemson Gate. What are we calling this gate? The scandal that is the president actually providing fast food for the winners
hamburger
fast food NCAA football championship.
Yeah. On silver platters.
Got an update for you.
All right.
So Clemson quarterback Trevor Lawrence, you know him.
Yes, of course. Trevor and I.
There was a meme going around, a screen grab, or there was a screenshot of social media post that he supposedly made.
Right.
And it said, President Trump got all of our favorite foods. It was the best meal we ever had. Then we go and see the coastal elite media trashing it for not being organic, vegan. We're football players, not bloggers. This was the perfect blue-collar party.
There we go. Good kid.
He didn't write it, though.
Oh.
It was a scam. He didn't actually do that. So then Ross Taylor, a spokesman for Clemson, was like, well, he didn't do that. He put everything that is presented in that meme is fabricated.
Okay.
And then Trevor Lawrence comes out and says, in reference to it, saying, I never said this, by the way. I don't know where it came from. However, the trip to the White House was awesome.
Good. I stand by my statement.
He's like,
good kid.
I didn't say any of that, but I agree with it.
Right.
I should have said it.
They just.
Then why would you even say I didn't say that?
I don't know. Because you know what? People were giving him a bunch of crap about it.
No, but he basically agreed with it. I mean, the words maybe not exactly, or was maybe not the best food, but it's like saying this. I think, give me somebody who's attractive.
Nancy Pelosi.
Damn it, I shouldn't ask you. MJ Lee, she's just on TV.
Okay.
Is it MJ?
I don't know. I didn't see her.
I'll just
All
use
right,
her as an
she's hot.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got the yellow fever now? Is that what's going on?
If she's hot.
So you go, MJ Lee. Right?
I don't see color.
She's
see
hot.
beauty.
And then somebody goes, Doc Thompson, MJ Lee is smoking hot. He said that loves blah, 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 attractive, hot, smoking, blah, blah, blah. And I go, I didn't say that.
Right.
But she's hot.
But she's hot. But I agree with yeah, that's true. I think somebody probably got to him and gave him a bunch of crap for it. And then so but remember, he's what? 20?
Now he's in college.
Okay, let's say he's 20, 21.
If he's smart, he's only 20.
Right. He's the quarterback, so he can't. Well, he's the quarterback. I'll just leave it there. But if somebody starts giving you crap when you're that age, yeah, you kind of backpedal.
Right, but then he said, but they're right.
Right. So, yeah, he's maybe not eloquently put, but
it's like one of the jackholes put out a meme of something I supposedly said about Hot and Ready. Right? All right, trash Hot and Ready. I don't like it. Whatever. Blah blah blah. No, better yet, AT&T, because I really don't hate Hot and Ready. I've always said it is Hot and Ready. But let's say with AT&T, which is reprehensible company.
Right.
And you go, Doc Thompson says AT&T sucks. Worst customer service ever. Do not use AT&T. Horrible service.
Right.
And I come out and I go, I never said this, by the way.
Right.
I don't even know where it came from. However, they are horrible. Horrible service. Why wouldn't I just leave it alone? It'll blow over. No one's going to care about the McDonald's gate thing.
No,
by this afternoon.
No. There will be something else, especially when the State of the Union comes up, or doesn't.
Actually, it'll be another week or so, because did you see all the little progressive chefs out there that are getting the back of the Clemson players?
And saying what?
They've invited them. There was a Michelin 3-star restaurant. The chef there invited them to a lobster and caviar dinner.
Okay, great. If I was a Clemson player, I'd go there too. Great. I've gotten to go to the White House, meet the president, and now I'm getting a 3. Absolutely.
Right. And so, but why are you so butthurt by it?
Because they can
and
be.
By the way, any chef out there, McDonald's and fast food, disgusting. Yeah, you want to know what they eat? McDonald's and fast food. You want to know why? Because they're tired of cooking at the end of the day. Like Jeff Patrick said, you know what most chefs eat when they get home at night? Cereal.
Right.
Because you pour it in the bowl, you pour the milk on, and you eat it.
Yeah. I would imagine any job like that. My first job was at the yogurt machine, which was frozen yogurt. When it first came out, and we could eat any and as much as we wanted anytime.
Was it the country's best yogurt?
It was not the country's. It was the country's second best. Actually, TCBY didn't even exist then. It was just to this day.
Back then, they called it fungus.
But they did yeast bread, yeast yogurt. Some people think it's yeast. It's not
cream.
yeast.
Did yours have active cultures?
They were somewhat active, except at night when they slept. But to this day, I'm still like, I can eat frozen yogurt, but it's certainly not on the top of my gotta have it list. And I would think the same is true with chefs.
Have you gone to any of the ones where you make the little toppings yourself?
Froyo. I do like Froyo.
Like Orange Leaf, Sweet Frog, any of those ones around the country? You ever been to those?
The real frogs?
No.
Oh. No, I've never been to those. Froyo, TCBY.
Mm-hmm. The ones where you dispense it yourself and then put the toppings on.
That's what you do at
Which
Froyo.
is such a... Oh, I've never been there. So it's such a scam.
It's like a leapfrog.
Because they give you the really big, the huge bowls, so you just naturally, you like fill it.
Right.
And then they weigh it.
Yes. And then it's
I'm
9...
going to buy ice cream by the weight. Okay, it's frozen yogurt by the weight. That stuff is heavy. I don't know if you know that.
It's $12 a cup.
Dude, I don't know. Try as I might, I don't get out of there under $10.
Oh, yeah, easily. That's getting off easy.
Hey-o. All right. By the way, if you're memeing right now and I see them popping up about AT&T, yeah, I didn't say those things, but I absolutely agree with them. I absolutely agree it's a reprehensible company. You know what you should use instead is Patriot Mobile. So go ahead and meme anything negative about AT&T, and we'll just assume I said it.
Do you know why Patriot Mobile is so good?
Because they're not AT&T number one.
It's made with unicorns.
Crushed up unicorns?
Yes, they use,
or is it?
It's just the horn. Just the horn of the unicorn. And by the way, no, it does not die if you take the horn off.
Do they grow another one?
Yes,
or it's just,
they
I didn't realize
regrow.
that.
It's like
Magic.
like a liver.
Okay.
It's like you can harvest parts of the unicorn horn and it grows right
now,
back.
I've heard they power their generators at Patriot Mobile Central with Bigfoots on treadmills.
Were we clear to say that?
I think they're going to be okay with that. That's fine.
I mean, you start throwing stuff like that out there. It's crazy.
Now I feel like I shouldn't say what I was about to. I've already started down this road.
Right.
They have been working on hydroelectric to power their generators.
Wow.
And it's the hydroelectric, the energy created from the moving water.
Does it use water?
Of Loch Ness.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
They're a cutting edge company. They really are. They have amazing customer service, probably the best out there. And they have great coverage. Plus, you're probably going to save money with their services, and they're not supporting a bunch of leftist nonsense. So please sign up for that Patriot Mobile account today. PatriotMobile.com/doc. PatriotMobile.com/doc. Sign up today.
Unicorn cake is so fluffy because it's made with the yeast harvested from a narwhal's hoo-ha.
Really?
That's what Overripe Banana Slug says, and they've never lied up to this point.
Well, that's all right then.
So I have to take them at their word.
A narwhal?
A narwhal.
You know what that is?
It's $20. Do
you know what a narwhal is?
I just said. What is it? Is it like a sweet frog?
It's the third fastest land animal.
Faster than a marsupial?
Yes, faster, but not as fast as a jaguar.
That's fast.
They are the third fastest. I don't know what second is, but I know jaguar is number one.
Yeah. Well, number two is so fast we've never been able to actually track it.
The narwhal, it's about the size of, I was going to use a dog, but that's probably not good because dogs are whatever, different type. About the size of that trash can over there.
Okay. That's a decent size. Yeah. Odd-looking little animal, but yeah.
No, it's not that shape or whatever.
Okay.
Long, fluffy ears, short tail. Some people confuse them for a dog, like the wild dogs of Africa, because they're also found in Africa.
Is it like a shmoo?
Very similar.
Okay, just making sure.
It's not found in Africa. It's an aquatic creature with a horn.
Aha! Does it grow back like a unicorn?
I don't think so.
Okay.
They actually look a little like a manatee with a giant horn.
I can't decide if that's attractive or not.
It's not.
Okay.
In fact, it's really odd.
Manatees alone are odd.
There it is.
Okay.
There's the narwhal.
Boy, that is a weird looking thing.
That's what I'm saying. Look at that.
Wow. It does. It looks like a manatee with a horn coming out of its nose.
That's not even a great picture.
Wow. What those poor things.
Yep.
That would suck.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Bob. Ow. 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 Damn it. Ow.
There's some more pictures of them.
Wow.
So see, they did it because it's unicorn.
This is good.
It has
radio,
a
by the way.
unicorn.
This is the best radio we've ever done.
You can look up narwhal.
I don't have to. I'm looking at it.
I mean the audience.
There's someone else here too. Sweet Frog and similar yogurt chains are not a scam. I love mixing the flavors together. I'll mix flavors before adding toppings.
No, they're fantastic tasting. The scam is the amount you pay.
The weight, yes. Yeah, because you do end up
which, by the way,
mortgage your house.
Have you seen the we really don't have salad bars anymore like we used to. Salad bars were awesome back in the day, right?
They just closed the last one here. Remember that place over?
I mean, you still see some buffet-style salad bars at places like Shoney's or one of those. Or maybe, remember salad bars with a thing?
Yes.
Salad bar. Try our salad bar.
Yeah.
Wendy's had a salad bar, all this stuff.
Wasn't
Pizza Hut.
McDonald's going to put out a salad bar?
I think they were. I think they tried them. I know Pizza Hut had one for a while. Remember that?
Yep. And Soup Plantation out on the West Coast. Love them.
Those are great. The salad bars now, when you get them, they're by weight.
Yeah. That's, well, and lettuce
is heavy.
Yeah, it is.
It has all water. All the stuff on a salad bar has weight. They have them at Whole Foods now, but I don't think they call them salad bars.
Whole Foods, you need to sell your
paycheck.
Yeah. You need to sell your car on the way in just to be able to afford getting out. That place is crazy.
So expensive. It's good. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, it's very good.
Have you had their cookies?
From the bakery? The fresh, oh, yeah. And they are expensive.
They're in that little chest you open up and you go around and eat it. They're fantastic, but they are expensive.
All of their stuff is expensive.
Got any more communiques you want to share?
What's a pickled squirrel? Once again, my appetite is gone. Disgusting food stories. It was skinny-ass squirrel.
Because you were talking about baking bread with yeast.
What? That's a skinny-ass... What's that got to do with a squirrel? Man.
What was the tweet?
I don't know. I just read it. Once
what,
again, my appetite is gone. Disgusting food stories equals a skinny-ass squirrel.
Equals a skinny-ass?
I don't know. I think they're drunk. And just a dude, 3 Olives Dude vodka tastes exactly like Mountain Dew. Use caution when you're drinking it.
Which flavor do they have? I've had 3 Olives. 3 Olives vodka is fantastic. They've had a bunch of flavored ones right
Dude,
off.
I think the flavor is Dude. 3 Olives Dude.
3 Olives Dude. Okay.
Yeah.
Where are they based out of? You should look that up. See if you can base it. The reason I say this is when I was working on the air in Cleveland, the representative from the company we had on the air, so I don't know if they were just traveling across the country and hitting different media outlets or if it was somewhere in the Midwest. I'm just curious about it now. But they brought us some vodka, fantastic vodka. And even when they first launched their line before, now they have marshmallow flavor and all this different stuff. The flavored vodkas were relatively unheard of. And they had, I remember some when they tried to do them years ago, like in the 70s, and with some weird flavors.
Right.
That weren't as novelty, mainstream, marshmallow, chocolate type stuff. And they had out a couple that were flavored, and they were fantastic.
Well, that's I think they followed the beer market. That's where the American beer market really took it in the shorts, is because they didn't keep up with craft beers. Coors was still putting out Coors and the Silver Bullet, and Bud had Bud Light, and they got really edgy and had Bud Light Lime. But then all of these great craft beers were coming out with raspberry and hazelnut. They are such good beers, and the American breweries really didn't keep up. And I don't
now they're buying out a lot of the smaller ones, trying to do that. Whatever.
Yeah.
So 3 Olive is out of the UK.
So you see,
looks like they may have been purchased by somebody else, but it was created from a quadruple distilled winter wheat harvested in England.
Ooh.
Handcrafted, available, clear unflavored vodkas, whatever. And this was in 1998.
The problem is that
listen to their flavors. Ready? Holy moly, do they have a lot of flavors? Listen to this. Ready? Mixed berries, bubblegum, fruit passion flavor, birthday cake, chocolate, dark chocolate, cherry, chocolate, lemon lime, unflavored, lemon and lime. That's the Dude.
Yeah, he said it tastes exactly like Mountain Dew. You got to be
coconut, Concord grapes, tropical fruit, mango,
it's
strawberries
like having
and
a
cream.
mango in your mouth.
It is. Frozen crushed grapes is a flavor.
So they have the grape.
Root beer.
They're going to grape you.
Espresso, vanilla, watermelon, whipped cream. Wow, there's a whole lot of those there.
See?
Interesting. Okay.
Well, and the problem with some of those, though, they have so much sugar. It's like the flavored. It's like the tequilas that taste like lime. They're so sugary.
Those ones I don't think have sugars though. Those ones are usually just flavored.
It's sweet. Though, where do they get that? Where's the sweet?
No, a lot of those vodkas are not sweet. It's just the flavor of it. You can get some. I could be wrong about those, but usually it's just the vodka with the flavor.
If it tastes like Mountain Dew, it's got to have some sweetener in it, and it's got to give you a headache.
It could be Mountain Dew without the sweet, because then what you're doing is a lot of times you're adding that to something else that is already sweet. So you put it over ice cream, you put it over something else like with fruit or something like that, you don't want to double up the sugar.
I am not putting my vodka over ice cream.
Okay.
I'm drinking my vodka. So
you've never had a mudslide?
Wait a minute.
Okay, let's just move on.
Are we still talking about drinking?
No, we're talking about traguns.com.
There's nothing like going from alcohol to guns. What was I looking up yesterday at TRA? Oh, it was that SIG, the Copperhead. The Copperhead. Did I ever tweet that out?
Nope.
I don't think I did I?
No.
So the SIG Sauer MPX Copperhead 9mm pistol. This is This is exactly what scares all the little whiners out in California. Because that is that's
absolutely
a badass little gun. It's a 9mm gun. You see that, Ron? You see the SIG? He's not listening. Is that not cool?
Yeah, that's the one you showed yesterday.
Yes.
I went out and looked at it.
Yeah, and I forgot to tweet it out, so I'm a loser. But this thing it's not inexpensive compared to what you pay normal retail. It's only $16.89. Normally they're $1,800 plus. And there's only one of them at TRA Guns, TarRiverArms.com. This thing is really cool, and there's nothing wrong with owning some really cool looking guns. By the way, just saying. If you go to TRA Guns, they are the America's first virtual online gun store. Not only can you see great pictures with 360-degree virtual views of the guns, I mean, as Izzo said the other night, somebody could have thrown up their lunch on one of these, not cleaned it off well, and you'd be able to tell.
Oh, yeah, without question.
They are incredible, really cool 3D views. It's TRAGuns.com.
TRAGuns.com.
I say TRAGuns.com.
What do you mean it's last call?
All righty, that is it, ladies and gentlemen, the end of your Daily Mojo. But before we go, as always, let's find out what we learned today. We learned if you're masturbating while staring at the teen daughter of an NFL player, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, big time. Yeah. And he'll let you know, by the way. If you had any doubt as to whether you're doing it wrong, you'll find out. Yes, you'll find out very soon.
We learned from Bernie Sanders that 95% of the EPA is unneeded, yet we still need them.
Right.
We learned the spoiler alert that Freddie Mercury may have been a homotype sexual.
I think he could bat left or right.
Finally learned that strawberry shortcake sucks regardless of what Brad Staggs says.
It doesn't.
I could have said that a different way. We also learned that Brad Staggs has no taste in desserts or women.
No, wait a minute. I said I'm considering rescinding my my opinion of Nancy Pelosi.
Finally, I learned that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez does not understand the phrase "run a train," yet will teach the rest of Congress social media.
They've been doing it to us for years. Why not?
Brad Staggs, what, if anything, did you learn today?
First of all and foremost, I learned that you cannot recommend Cardi B as a speaker at your next sermon.
Probably not.
You might think it's a good idea. Don't do it. I learned for $50 million, I would have been engaged to Freddie Mercury.
Wouldn't take $50 million.
Well, yeah, for half of that money. He and I would have been out on the town. I learned asking Chris Hansen for a small loan right now probably is not a good idea. I did learn that if you're going to creep outside a teenager's window, make sure there's not an NFL lineman inside. It's not going to
make sure it's an NFL kicker, and then you're good. Because they're just,
Yeah. Well, they can run. They can find you.
You know.
And I learned finally there were stiffer penalties for coffee drinkers than child molesters in Turkey. Just saying.
What, if anything, did the listeners learn today?
A sampling from the MeWe chat room. It was Melissa Jackhole who said, aren't vibrators mini sex robots?
That's a good point.
Yep. Yes, it is.
At my house, they are.
Yes, there you go. Jay Reynolds learned if Doc's like something salty and sweet, oh boy, do I have a treat for him.
Ooh, that sounds fantastic.
I don't know what that means. Fun.
They call me popcorn. They call me kettle corn.
Fundamentally existential kitty learned nutritional yeast is not the same as schmeg. Thank you for clearing that up. Boy, I'm sorry to see today go. I really am.
Okay, yeah, that's...
She also learned if cheesecake is cheesecake, isn't peach cake pea cake? I see what you did there. Overripe banana slug, I shall have all the angel food cake for myself if I sit between Doc Thompson and Food Biz Pro.
Wow.
That is very true.
You lost so many points in my book. I used to hold you in high regard, but now you're just one of the masses.
Yeah, well, that happens. JR15 learned, I don't want to know what acerbating is. It's what happens before you exacerbate. I can fill you in on that.
If you're confused by that, don't look up rasturbate.
Yeah, it's a real problem.
Are you familiar with the rasturbation?
Who isn't?
I had explained that to...
Well, Ron. That's Ron Phillips. And finally, I learned, the Jackal Angry Beaver learned, bent over and beaten sounds like something that occurs in my closet.
I
see what you did there.
Sadly, did not get those new numbers on procrastination.
Damn it.
I'm going to do them tomorrow. What else do we have come up?
Oh, well.
It's Friday.
Yes, it's called Friday Leftovers.
What does Matt Locke have coming up?
If it's Matt Locke, he has that interesting thing. Could be us coming up next, though, right after the podcast, if you're listening on Friday morning. Yeah.
Remember, your Daily Mojo today was a service of...
That's Ron Phillips.
Phillips production,
Ron Phillips, yeah.
Sic Semper Tyrannis. Good night, Steve Cannon. Wherever you are. Anyang, now, you go home.
Very good. That was a great 15-minute show.